Hello everyone, hope everyone's doing absolutely wonderful this evening. Hope everyone's doing just great. How is everyone? But on this lovely Saturday night for me, actually, be Saturday evening for some of the American viewers. My name is the Eighth One. This is one of those infectious thoughts that I've prepared for today. We have a lovely person on the other line currently waiting, just probably staring at his phone right now, checking his Twitter, checking his notifications. But this is an episode all about them, trying to find out who they are as a person, as a streamer, as a content creator. And we're going to find that out very shortly. I have a list of questions for the person on the other line, and we're going to see who they are and satisfy our curiosities realistically. But without further ado, here is Bokonon Lives. Hello. Oh, you got yourself muted. There we go.
You can fix that in post, right? Hello.
Off to a flying start.
I'm clearly a professional. I'm on my A game tonight.
Oh, love it. Okay, so without further ado, the very first question I ask every single person on the other side of my screen: who is Bokonon Lives?
Well, I hope we find out. Ask myself that question every day. I'm just some guy. I'm sure we'll get into it. Maybe we'll find some things out. Maybe some good things, maybe some bad things.
I mean, we like both. We like both sides of the table, you see. I like
All
both
right.
sides of the coin. There's always a story that's hidden behind. Always a story.
Yeah. I like the both sides of a coin. Do you know that I actually witnessed firsthand my cousin flipped a coin and it landed on the side right in front of me?
I would have to see it to believe it. It's one of those.
I'll give you a hint. It was on a shag carpet, though, so that made it a bit easier.
That doesn't count. It can literally just plant itself.
But did I lie? Where's the lie?
Okay, all right. I can believe it. Oh my god. But when did you start content?
I created my Twitch account. I just had about my 3-year anniversary.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And was it? Did you only start out? Did you start with Twitch, or did you start on any other platform?
Twitch was my first platform. Funnily enough, I think I was more inspired by people who were Let's Players on YouTube.
Okay.
That was kind of what I was going for. The idea of, I'll be honest, before I started out, for the longest time, obviously Twitch as a platform and Let's Play on YouTube has been a thing for years. People have really made a name for themselves. And I never got it. I never understood why on earth would you watch somebody else playing a game? Why wouldn't you just play it yourself? So I just never tried it. And I think that the reason that I got started really was because of the game Undertale.
Really?
A friend recommended that game to me, and I played it. At the time, I had no aspirations of being a content creator, of broadcasting anything. I just played this game that my friend recommended, and something clicked for me. I loved it, and I finished it, and I wasn't ready for it to be over.
Oh, that I'm literally like that with every single RPG game out there.
Right?
It's like it ends, and you're like, well, what do I do now? And then it normally just leads back to start again.
You can do that. You can start it again, and you can experience that story again and all those wonderful, beautiful moments and twists and turns. But it's never quite the same, is it?
No, because you kind of know what to expect, essentially. unless
That's the thing.
there's those games where they have like multiple different endings, and then your choices throughout the games affect your the ending. I really, really,
Sure.
really love those. Like for example, one of my favorites is the Fallout series, excluding the latest one. I'm not a greatest fan of the latest one, but all the previous ones I'm in love with, to the point of what I've still got a full size wearable T51B power helmet, like a collector's item, and it is proudly sitting on my shelf currently. When I get a better camera, I'll be able to show it off. But oh god, it's.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
I'll show you now. I'll show you now. Let's go.
Oh, please, yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
Oh,
Here's my full-size wearable T51B power helmet. It's got a voice changer. It's even got the little thing. But yeah, full-on collector's item right there.
oh, what a good toy. Oh, that's remarkable.
I'll put that bad boy there. There we go.
Oh yeah, keep it in frame. That is nice.
Have you got any any collector's items, things along those lines?
Collector's items. I suppose I nothing major. I collect a couple of things. I have a modest collection of retro hardware. I've got Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo, N64, a couple of other mid-generation consoles there.
Oh, interesting. Have you got like a little showcase, like sort of thing for it? Like, come on.
Funny you should ask. I'm not yet. I'm working on that. I have some things tagged on. I've got some plans in the works. My wife might have even agreed to do a paint job on whatever piece of furniture I get.
Yes.
Right now, they're all kind of loose. I don't even have them hooked up right now.
Oh no.
I have the hardware for it. All my capture and switch equipment. All of the pieces of the puzzle are there except the kind of cubby holes to
That's so cool. Because I've always seen like some of those people that have like the standard IKEA cube furniture in the background. They've got all their stuff neatly laid out on there, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. But the one thing that always gets to me is I think to myself, how do you keep them all connected? Or do you keep them all connected while they're there? Because I think there'll literally be an absolute hurricane of wires everywhere.
That it would be. I do have some of that is a problem that I've mostly solved. I have I have a 6-way audio video selector. It's a box right here, 6 in, 1 out, with buttons to switch.
That's cool.
I could very well have up to 6 old AV output devices plugged in at any one time into this thing, and then with a push of a button, I could switch to whichever console I felt like playing.
That's cool. And I'm assuming that could actually be stacked essentially, so you could have like 2 of those going into a single, a dual channel splitter, and then you could have 12 devices connected at any one time with just the press of 2 buttons.
I don't see why not.
Oh my god,
the sky's the limit.
Cool. That'd be so cool. Oh my god. Oh
yeah. That's life goals, man.
No, literally. Although I must say, one of the things that is going to be the hardest is trying to keep the dust off of everything, because once you've got everything laid out,
Let me tell you about something that's been a recurring problem for me.
Oh no!
and my Twitch channel. I am streaming right now, and by the way, I have evolved over the years, and I am now in my best setup of since I began content creation. I am in the best of all scenarios that I've seen, and I am still streaming out of the room that the cats do their business in. The litter boxes. Right there.
Oh my lord.
So talk about dust.
Your thing is, you've got extra, because if you've got pets, you're gonna have pet hair, and I do not envy you, sir. I do not envy you. I'll tell you that for sure.
But let me tell you where I came from.
Oh,
Before I moved up into this chamber, before I made this room into my office, I was streaming out of the laundry room,
oh no. Oh, that's central. Oh my god.
which was also where the dogs sleep.
Oh my god. Okay, right. Because this is a small pet hate of mine, but how often do you clean your PC?
Whatever I say, it's not going to be enough. The answer is not enough.
Come on, be honest with me. Be honest.
Okay. The last time I opened this thing up, it was maybe 1 or 2 months ago.
Okay, right. That is better than some people that I know. Currently, I've got Jones the Original in chat, and I was working with him earlier today, and I went to his house, and then I saw his PC, and I was like, "Is that front panel meant to be white?" And he was like, "Oh no, that's dust." Oh, oh my god. Oh my god, like my brain, my heart just went no. Honestly, I was in pain. I was like, if you don't take it off, I will. I took it off and I showed him the actual filter. You could see the individual holes from where the fans have been pulling air in. I was like, that is rough. Okay. Like
Yeah. I've been there. That has been me on occasion.
Yeah, I mean, I've pretty much always now got one of those like air duster cans and this tiny little brush.
Oh yeah.
To one side for me, because I've recently changed my case as well, and it's rather roomy. But what I love about it is got removable like dust catching tray filters. So nice for cleaning. Literally take it outside, give it a shake, give it a hoover. Perfect.
That sounds good. That's better than me and my hands and knees on the carpet. Just.
Oh god. Okay. Well, the next question, and what I like to hear is, and I like to see is, I've had a lot of people on here, and one thing that always like amazes me is the difference in people's like general profession and like what they're employed in doing or trained in doing, whatever, as a contrast to streaming, because most of the time it's just completely different, and I love that.
Well, I am a software developer.
Okay.
And to be honest, I meet a lot of software guys on Twitch. Guys, ladies, everybody. Whole lot of software people. So I don't think that's very original of me. I apologize, but
no, it is, because I haven't had a lot of software engineers as developers. Really? No, I haven't. Like, I know a couple. What type of software do you normally make? Can you speak about it, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, I work on a variety of things. I have a full-time job. It's nothing too fascinating. A couple of websites, some reporting software. But you know, it is what it is. I'm getting some stuff that's interesting to me. I don't know how meaningful it'll be to everybody, but I've been getting into some kind of meta stuff, some kind of maintenance. We would refer to it as DevOps.
Okay.
So work concerning the maintenance and deployment of servers. Some machine level orientation and that sort of thing. I'm cloud architecture and maintenance and that sort of thing. That's kind of where my passion has started to be lately.
So right, so that's pretty cool actually, because obviously I get a and before Burkos you could refer to Jiran as being modest. That's we like modest here, okay? But I like the whole cloud maintenance of multiple different servers ideas. Like, I know how well, I say that I know how hard it is. I know a few people that always try and explain to me what it is that they do and how they do it, and they say a very small percentage of the tasks that it needs to use computers to fulfill for them. And I think to myself, like, I can just about make a tea, and these people are monitoring servers and connections between servers and issues on their sides from halfway across the world and managing to do this without even being there. And I'm thinking to myself, like, God damn, like, it's crazy. So no, 100%, like, I know for a fact software development, you have to really think outside of the code to try and, because some of your decisions may affect other things along the line. And I know, okay, I can understand a small percentage of it, I will say that.
Sure. Yeah, software development can be like that. You know, you don't handle things with care, there could be consequences. And getting into the management of servers and virtual machines in the cloud. So here's the thing. I am dealing with the allocation of virtual machines.
Mhm.
So storage of the applications concerning my company are not on a physical computer that we own. They are in some pre-allocated
Storage
space
slot,
of storage and a level of memory and a level of processing power, which is all, you know, think of my admin panel as you know, DJ equipment. I can turn those dials up and down if I please.
That's cool. It's
which
also
will have financial repercussions if I do it wrong.
Literally, like, and that's one thing that it's to this day amazes me, the fact that you can have a computer and you're looking at a computer, but that computer's running a computer on that computer. I love that. Like, there's one thing that I've watched on YouTube is about these oh god, what are they called? It's this YouTuber that scammers using virtual machines.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
So good. Like, literally, he goes onto their computers and then he assigns them sys keys, and then or at the end of the video, you normally see them begging for their stuff back. Oh, I love this guy. Honestly, like, full on bowing to him. I love what he's doing, and
there's brilliance in that.
And the fact that he's got a computer that can run a machine on his computer, a virtual machine, and they're able to. I know obviously there's a bit of a difference between that and what you do, but
sure,
I love the idea. Like, the main basis.
Always learn.
Yeah, right. 100%. Oh my god, I'd love to see one of those streams. Oh my god, I wonder if there's anyone on Twitch doing that. That would be really cool. I'm gonna have to do some research, but that's cool. Anyway, sorry to get on a tangent.
Yeah. No, please. I love this stuff.
Just seeing chat, Rockstar's got a question. Put it in chat, Rockstar, and if it's good enough, I might ask it. If not, save it for the end. Okay. Awesome. Well, what made you start streaming? And then at the same time, what made you press that go live button the second time? Because it normally is a bit of a difference between the two of them.
Those are a couple of good questions. If I can go back, if I will, to my kind of love of the game Undertale. So this story kind of goes on. I had no interest in watching other people on Twitch or YouTube, for that matter, play games. I didn't understand why people would, and I had never tried it. I'd never given it a chance.
Right.
So I wasn't repulsed by the idea. I thought it probably wasn't for me. And then I played this game, which was so impactful to me. It just resonated with me so well. I wasn't ready for it to be over. And I actually did replay the game a couple of times, and that stopped being enough. So I got the idea into my head, well, why don't I watch somebody else play that? And for the first time, I watched a Let's Play of Undertale on YouTube. And I loved it. Everything I knew was wrong. I loved the idea of watching people play games.
It just gives you a completely different outlook because different people play the same games that you play very differently.
Yes. And for me, all of a sudden, I got to relive that game truly in a way that I would not be able to do by simply replaying it from the beginning. Because, as you said, I knew what was coming, but they didn't. So I could see their reactions. I lived vicariously through them. Like, oh, no, that happened. Like, I loved that. So I watched a couple of videos like that, and I came to really enjoy getting to know these people through watching them play. It was like being in the room with them playing these games. And after some time after that, I don't know for how long I was watching before I got the idea of doing it myself, but that was one big piece of the puzzle. And the other was this realization that I had slowly developed over my adult life that I'm this 30-somethings guy who kind of calls himself a gamer, but I've missed out on so many popular games that people love over the years. Classic games that I should have grown up with but didn't. Has anyone ever walked up to you and started talking passionately about some movie, and you have to just kind of meekly, I've actually never seen The Godfather or whatever, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
How is that possible? It's like they
Yeah, no, I fully relate to that because on a regular basis, I've got my friends like saying to me like, well, I say regular basis. There's certain things now that they bring up, but like if you go back a few months, like last year, for example, everyone was talking about, oh god damn it, there's 2 TV series. There is one that's got like all sorts of dragons in it, and then there's a lot of saucy stuff that happens in it. What is it called? It was massive series.
That would be Game of Thrones, right?
Right, yes. They said to me, oh, what did you think of that last episode of Game of Thrones? And I'm like, haven't seen a single episode. And the same with Breaking Bad as well. And everyone's like, what are you doing? Why? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. So I'm just going to wait for all of them to be over, and I'll just binge watch the whole lot of them.
Yeah. That's a legitimate way to go about it. Who would actually choose to wait 1 week in between episodes?
My god,
that's no way to live your life.
right. Tell me about it. And it was at one point that I was watching a lot of animes, and waiting between each episode was just so painful because I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? I need to know. And obviously I understand that's the whole point of it, but it
kind of builds community, when you can confide in other people going through that same trauma of having to wait another week to find out if so-and-so really died when that boulder fell on them.
I can fully agree with the word that you used there, trauma.
Yeah, right?
Oh.
I think sometimes we need a little of the fake trauma to zero in on, to focus on. Give us something to think about that doesn't actually really have any stakes, but feels like it does. There is a fun in that.
Quite literally, yeah. So you watched someone else play that game, and then so hold on. So you played the game first. You finished it. Did you play it on stream?
Never.
You didn't play it on stream, and then you watched someone else play the game, and then you thought this is a good idea.
Yeah, the idea of my personal craving to get more content out of this game that I love by watching someone else. I thought, well, hey, I could flip the script and be that guy to play somebody else's favorite game. And at the time, this was 3 years ago, mind you, so some of these things I have rectified. Some of these games which I had never played, and now I have. Some examples being Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo, as well as Zelda: Link to the Past.
Oh, okay.
I had never played either of those, and these are classics, which people to this day, maybe people of a certain generation, but that's my generation,
Yeah.
have that same reaction. What? How have you never played Link to the Past? It's only the greatest game ever made, they'll tell me. So I solved that problem on stream, and I really that's it. That's why I hit go live the first time. I said, I have all these games that I've had access to for years and years, and I've either never started them, or maybe one day on a whim I started them but paused and got distracted and never came back. I'm like, well, here's the other thing. Not only can I get other people to watch me play their favorite games, and maybe there'll be some brilliant story with a twist that they'll get to see my reaction, and maybe there's something crazy that, they'll be able to live vicariously through me the way I did through watching other people play my favorite games. But this is also a means of keeping myself accountable. I figure if I start a game off camera, there's nothing compelling me to go back to that game on any given schedule other than my own satisfaction. And I kind of need that kick in the butt. The same way that I wouldn't ever be able to keep up an exercise routine without a workout buddy. If I have a chat looking forward to watching me finish this game that I started, well, I don't want to keep them waiting.
You know what? Yeah, I can fully agree with that. I can fully agree with that.
Yeah.
And who was it that originally told you oh, you should play this on stream?
I had a couple of people, a couple of friends, personal friends who influenced me. And I guess their screen names, one of them is on Twitch, one of them is not. But I guess the friend of mine who does stream himself, he is Scully Mania. He was definitely one of the earliest people who told me that I should be streaming. And the other, he goes by Captain Trips. I don't know offhand if there's any content of his that is out there, but that's who he is to me. He is Captain Trips. I guess, I don't know why, I always thought that it would be a good idea. But the two of them, among other friends, have been there encouraging me, giving me ideas for new games to stream, because if half of my repertoire is going to be games that I've never played before, well, some of those might be games I've never heard of before, so they have to come from somewhere.
Quite literally, yeah. You're gonna have to have someone that's there recommending some of those games. And okay, I have to say this now before I forget it, but on your about page, you've got yourself a list of some of the games that you have.
That's right.
That list is already damn impressive. So, I fully support that. To the point of where I was looking through some of those, and I just thought to myself, it would really be cool, when you get those A1 size posters that normally have stills from comic books, but have multiple of those stills. It would be really cool if you could have a scroll type deal of all of the games that you had, just a small picture of it, or maybe the cover from it, and then just have that of every single game that you've played. That would be cool.
I might take that.
You can have that on a yearly basis sort of things, that you can have this year you did this.
Oh yeah, a year in gaming. Boop 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 boop.
Yeah, and when you go for example to a comic book shop or some sort of shop along those lines, where they've got those display stalls for posters where you can have, it's almost like a book, but it's just hanging off of the wall.
Yeah.
So you can switch between them physically.
Yes.
Boom.
Ooh, that's good.
Boom. I'm a
Ooh.
bad influence on people's wallets.
I think you might be helping me take this to the next level, man. I like that.
Oh god.
Yes.
That is, I mean, I feel that's a really cool idea. I saw the list and I was like, yo, I've got idea.
Yo, that's true. Thank you for that. I hope someone's writing this down.
Oh god. Okay, so obviously you've been streaming for a very long time now, and you've gone through multiple different things to like improve your stream. And one of the most essential things, and one of the things that I'll always say to every single content creator that's just started out or thinking about starting out, is it's one thing to look at your own content for the screen that you're currently looking at, for your OBS or your Streamlabs or whatever streaming program that you use. It's one thing to see it there, and it's a completely different thing to see it on Twitch or on YouTube or everywhere else. And as cringy as it is, watching your own content can change the way you look at it entirely. So my question to you is, have you watched your content, and what did you change because of it?
Ooh. That gets into some stuff, man.
That's what
I have always hated the sound of my own voice. I'll tell you that.
You and me both, brother. You and me both.
I think that's common. That's just human nature, isn't it? Your voice resonates in your own head in such a weird, like you hear it bouncing around inside your skull in a different way. And then you hear yourself on recording, and it's like, no, I can't be that guy.
Who's that guy? That ain't me.
Yeah. I think that rather than watching myself and listening to myself and finding that it ended up influencing me to change anything about it, I think it really just helped me get over that. That is the bigger influence that it has had. I have come to terms with what my voice sounds like, for instance, or what I look like. It's funny, I was just reading this article on the phenomenon of working from home and doing Zoom meetings, and finding that it made some people uncomfortable or want to stop being in that meeting, or otherwise feel in some nebulous way skeeved out. And some researchers actually theorized that a lot of it was because in a Zoom meeting you're staring at your own face.
Yeah.
When you're in a typical conference room, you see everything but your own face.
Yeah. I can fully understand that, because sometimes I literally go live and I see myself and I'm like, I want to see that.
It makes you a little self-conscious, like you're like, oh, I'm not standing up straight. I'm not.
Literally, I literally done it a second ago, but I occasionally, like, when I look over to one side, because of the length of the beard, it occasionally catches my shoulder or something like that, and it gets like pushed to one side. And because I've got this live feed of myself, it's like a lifetime mirror. So I'm like, oh crap, I need to kind of readjust everything, sort of thing. I always do it. Honestly, I'm so bad for it. But even like just now, you just said about readjusting yourself. I just readjusted myself because I see like, oh, I'm pretty low in the frame. But no, I can fully understand.
I didn't mean you.
I can fully understand and relate to that. Yeah.
But in a weird way, I think this has just been another thing for me to get over. I got one of the biggest things that's changed in me is that I've gotten less self-conscious. I've a much reduced sense of shame. If there's any left, I'm not sure.
I agree with
fine
this.
With it.
I agree with this. Okay.
I'm trying to come up with an actual answer. You asked if I've watched. Yes, I've watched some of my content, especially lately. As we can get into later, I have in the recent 1 or 2 years gotten into speedrunning of games. I've watched a good number of my runs back to get some satisfaction out of like, oh, I did really well this time. So I'm watching myself a lot more lately. And yeah, no, I think
Let me break it.
I haven't changed much.
Let me break it down a little bit more, because obviously it's a bit of a wide question, because the amount of things that you can change from looking at your own content is endless. But something that I changed is that I originally had my camera flipped, so it was a direct image of what I have. Because obviously, if I go left here on my screen, I go right, and that was one thing that I changed, because a viewer of mine said, "Well, why'd you have it like that? It should be the other way round, because it doesn't look right on stream." And I was like, I didn't know it made that much of a difference, so I changed it. And then there was things like, for example, the borders on the current scene I'm using. I used to have them directly touching the corners, and on my screen it looked fine. I watched it on Twitch and I was like, well, that looks like trash. And then I moved them in, and things along those lines. Like, some of them can be visual, like getting it away from the sound aspect of it, because that is a completely different subject. But what is some of the like big visual changes that you've changed because you've watched the content?
Yeah, cool. I've got you. I think that okay. I'm with you now, and yes, I've changed my setup a number of times, redesigned things visually a bit. I can say that I have some imagery that, for instance, my BRB screen, or my getting started screen, has evolved. Actually, this is one of my favorite aspects of my stream growth, that for the longest time, probably about a full year, I had only the one scene, and it was my webcam in the corner and the game behind it. So it was actually a big step just having a starting soon screen.
Yeah.
Which for a while consisted of a crude sketch, black and white pencil sketch that I drew of myself, kind of in almost the pose of like the South Park character from the World of Warcraft episode, because that's kind of how I viewed myself, just the terrible posture, leaning as far back in the chair as I could, in front of the computer, but just chilling, just content with myself, kind of a mockery of myself. That was kind of my logo, my imagery. And after a while, one of my friends and supporters, Alien Soul, redrew that image in a much cooler way.
Oh, right, that's
with
really
actual
cool.
Artistic talent, and kind of made this nice vector colorized drawing of it. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Oh, wow.
And then he did it again. He enhanced his enhanced version, so it was no longer even a higher quality version of me sitting in front of the computer being a lump. He actually took that and evolved it into this badass gamer pose, like cool guy, tough guy. Like, I've got this like smirk on my face. My monitor has been upgraded into something out of Star Trek almost. It's like, I could never be that cool, but
That's really cool, because that's one thing that I really do love, right? Is like I've had a very little, but I'm assuming like it doesn't matter, right? So I've had very little like fan art essentially that has come towards me, and that's one thing that I'm strongly encouraged, because I absolutely love the fact that someone will take the time out of their day, right, to stop doing whatever task they were doing, and they just want to draw you, or they want to paint you, or they want to make you on a computer, or anything along those lines. Like, that blows my mind. And to see people's creativity when it's me on the receiving end of it, it's just so cool.
That is so well put. It is amazing. It's you go from thinking that could never happen to questioning why someone thinks that you're worthy of that. To just I don't know, you know, I don't think I get down about myself or anything and say, oh, I'm not worthy of this, but it puts things in perspective. It's like, oh wow, like I am in disbelief over something like that, that somebody would get the urge to do that and spend the time on it. It's yeah, I'm just thankful that somebody thinks of me enough to take that time. I mean, I still have trouble getting over the fact that up to 10 people at a time, you know, a little bit less, a little bit more in some cases, might take time out of their day to watch me play games. That's, you know,
quite literally. I can fully relate to that as well, because you got to think about it. Like, there's people that could be doing literally anything else. Like, they could be watching their favorite show. They could be eating. They could be just out doing tasks of whatever they wanted to do. But they're not. They're here. They're watching you. They're talking to you. In some
of
cases,
these people haven't seen Game of Thrones, and they're watching you.
Yeah, literally. Like, some of them might be seeing a game that they've never seen before in their entire lives, and the reason why they're there isn't because of the game. It's because of you. It's because of who you are and how they can relate to you. And that's the one thing that I would say to everyone: be yourself, and then people will be able to relate to you. Because if you're trying to be someone else, unless you're very good at it, because there is people out there that are very good at putting on different personas, unless you're going to be very good at it, people are going to pick up when you're being fake. And that's one thing that I never want to be. Like, I am more down. Like, for example, on my last stream, I got myself a little soundboard and I could sample anything from everywhere, and I literally stood up, pressed my sample, and I farted into the mic. I'm not even joking. For the rest of the stream, everyone's like, yeah, do the fart sound. And I was like, it's real, huh? And it makes it a lot more fun. Like, that's thing.
That's legendary, man. Nice.
And that's just it. Like, I fully agree with you on that one.
Everything you just said is so true, and is, you know, the way that I usually put that always sounds so cheesy, but I mean it so genuinely that what keeps me coming back to Twitch, to other people's channels, to the communities, to people's discords, it's the people. It's not the games. It was, you know, I think I started because of the games in a way, but it really isn't about that at all.
100%.
There are people, you know, you're familiar with 50% Gaming, of course. We were discussing him, and you know, what an amazing personality and genuinely good person.
Oh, he is crazy. He is crazy. Yeah. I love it.
And here's an example of somebody who completely changed the sort of content that was on his stream over the years. He used to be a retro speedrunner. Now, a lot of the time, he's, you know, he was playing Rocket League for a while. He's playing Hunt Showdown now. Some of these games I've never played. I never had any particular interest in Rocket League. I know that may be blasphemy, but I watched him.
Yeah, that's just it. Like, some people might play the most, some of my most hated games, but it ain't about the game. It's about the person. Yeah. Literally. Because, like, someone could play they could be playing anything, but if they've got a personality there to make me laugh, I don't care what they're playing. As long as they're on the screen, I can hear them. If
I see somebody having a good time or invested in something, and even if I don't know what the game is about, if they are able to convey what it is they're trying to do, what the stakes are, what, you know, what this means to them, I'm like, yeah, do it. You know, ram that car into that ball. You only have 10 seconds left. Get it in the goal. This is it. MVP.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Oh, God.
I can get into anything, man.
That's true. That's true. And do you know what? Getting into anything, that actually leads on perfectly to my next question, which is,
You're
you started with you started with Twitch, right? And is that currently the only platform that you're on, or have you spread out to other platforms as well?
Yeah, funny you should ask. I am slowly getting into YouTube.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of content on there,
Mm-hmm.
and the majority of it consists of either rips from my Twitch channel, such as speedrun personal best times,
Mm-hmm.
or in a couple of rare cases, very long Twitch streams, which I have edited down for easier consumption.
Okay.
So, barely getting into this video editing aspect of things.
Oh, it's painful, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it is so painful. I tried it, and I remember my very first time. Hey, 50, how's it going?
50.
My first time opening a video editing software, I could literally, the only 3 buttons I recognized was the minimize, maximize, and close at the top of the screen. Oh, there's so many things to do and learn, and it is painful.
Yep.
So is it just Twitch and YouTube now?
As far as my content, that is where I do things. I am too old to have ever meaningfully put anything on Instagram or TikTok or anything else that I perhaps should be doing. Twitch is my primary source, my primary platform, and YouTube, it's funny because, as I mentioned, I was originally inspired by YouTubers, and then I jumped to Twitch and kind of never got around to YouTube. Well, I'm getting around to it now, and I certainly aspire to do a bit more there.
It is a whole different ball game, that YouTube. Like,
really is.
I fully agree with you there. It is not easy to get into, but 100%. And when we're done with this, like, make sure you send me all of your links to all of your different things that you'd like to have in the description below, because I'll stick them all in there for you.
That's great.
But what would you say is your style on Twitch versus what is your style on YouTube? Because in some cases it does vary, because there's a bit of a difference between live content and edited content, because some people can portray themselves very differently, and I will say that.
I have to laugh just because the number one thing that I edited out of my Twitch content to put onto YouTube was things like nose blows and sneezes. Nobody wants that. That's that's about it, man.
No, meme it. Literally meme it. Out of nowhere, just blow a nose. Out of nowhere, any awkward silence. That's the thing. Like, even recently, like my last stream, like I said, I literally stood up, sampled the fart, and I could play it, right? Not even joking. Anything that I just run out of things to say, boom, fart noise.
That's great, man. One of the first things you learn is no dead air. Keep talking. You can repeat yourself. You can fart. Farting is great. That's genius, I would say. I've got to start farting more.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. If you run out of things to say, fart.
Hell yeah. I think I've got a new character. I think Bokanon farts. Yeah. That's what I do now.
Oh my god.
This is me. This is the real me, Mom.
I've made it. Oh god. But yeah, so what would you say your style is anyway?
Oh God,
Or okay, let me rephrase it to make it a little bit easier. So, if someone was to go to your someone, like, think about yourself in third person. If someone was to go to your channel, watch one or two of your videos, right, and they would have to describe you from those videos, how would they describe you?
I unapologetically play dumb crap completely sincerely, taking it more seriously than anyone should. I will grind the hell out of the worst, like, Famicom jank you know, glitch fest, and I'm like, all right, everybody, we've got to jump this sheep over the wall and pick up that taco, and we're gonna get bean skip. We're gonna do it. This is the run.
Oh,
See,
God.
I'm if I can just make an ass out of myself, I've succeeded. That is it. I'm not afraid to ham it up. I don't take it over the top to the point that, you know, it's too much of an act. I don't need to act it. I'm already to some degree a joke, but I'm a good joke, damn it. You know, that's kind of.
Do you know what? That's one of the things that a lot of my friends say to me, like, why do you make so many jokes at your expense? Like, surely you must be tired of just people laughing at you. It's like, yep, if you can't laugh at yourself, how can you laugh at others? All right? Like, I am short, hairy, like, I'll make jokes about myself all day long. I do not care. I've been there, done that. I've had plenty of people give me those jokes, so I might as well recycle them. Clearly, they're funny for some reason, right?
And yeah, you know, one thing that I've realized and even said on camera lately is that if I can make myself laugh, that's a joke I'm repeating. You know, because if someone else doesn't like that, you know, I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. I'm just, you know, like.
Yeah, literally. Like, I'm a right. I would consider myself to be partially grown little man, right?
Oh yeah.
Every time I do a good little fart, as stupid as it might sound, right? To me, that's like, oh, that was a good one. Yeah, it's about a 7 out of 10. That's all right.
You do rate it out of 10.
Literally,
Yeah.
you have to.
Yeah, for burps as well. Yeah.
Right? Literally. Now, if someone doesn't find that funny, or if they find it disgusting, they're not on my level, you see? And it's fine. It's fine. If they want to move on, they can move on. If they want to stay and laugh with me, they're more than welcome to. Like,
yeah, and if somebody doesn't like that, I'm not offended. It's fine. To each their own. You know, everybody has a choice in what kind of content they want to consume, and I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not in order to affect my view rating, which nowadays I don't even pay attention to that. I don't know how many people are watching me. I just do what I do, because if I'm going to be on camera for hours,
you have to enjoy yourself.
Yes. I have to enjoy myself, and I have to be genuine. I could maybe fake it. I could come up with a character and practice it and do that for maybe 45 to 60 minutes, but not for 4 hours, a couple days a week.
Right.
I don't think I could if I wanted to, and I don't
exhausting.
want to.
It's exhausting. Like, literally is exhausting. That's why I find it very hard to lie, because, like, there's one thing about saying the lie, right? But then you got to remember it, and then you got to carry on going with it, and then you got to remember who you told it to and who you haven't told it to. It's just you're gonna get in trouble for it twice, okay? Because you're gonna say it, you're gonna get in trouble for it, and then you're gonna forget about it and say it again and get in trouble for it again. And that's the same with characters. If I try and be someone else, I'm just gonna get in trouble for it twice. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Right there with you.
Right, what we'll do is, we are currently on roughly about an hour since we started streaming, and this is something that I always say every single time to any new content creator or old-time content creator that's thinking about doing long-form content, video content, live streaming, whatever it might be. Breaks are so goddamn important. Like, you've been sitting down a while. I've been sitting down a while. I don't know about you, but my butt is so warm right now. It just needs to be aired out a bit, okay? And not everyone's got money to have one of those, like, standing tables where you can just stand and air it out, shake it about. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta take care of your butt, people.
Right? Literally. So we're gonna go have a little break. We're gonna go stretch our backs, grab some snacks. If we're feeling tired, we can have a couple naps, and then you guys can see us when we get our butts back here. So 10-minute break, everyone. Go grab a snack, and then we'll see you all in 10 minutes. Hey, yo, people, how's everyone doing? We're back. This is one thing that I'm very guilty of. I watch the timer on the screen, right? And it's always a last second switch. It's back to the scene because I'm like, crap, we're live. Let's go back. Oh, I hope everyone had a good break. I did offer one of my like safe / not safe / life hacks / streaming / content creation on a chair hacks off screen, but if anyone has one of these like air cans for like cleaning their PC or whatever they use the cleaning for, now one thing I do, and I don't advise that for everyone to do this, but this is what I do, okay, right? But if you turn it slightly upside down, you see it actually comes out with some of that spray. Now that's very cold. Now if you spray it on your seat right before you sit down, it's like getting a cold side of the pillow at night, okay? Bliss. It's literally like... Oh, I love my soundboard. Sorry. Oh god.
Good stuff.
Right. Well, I've thrown in a couple of questions on this questionnaire of mine that just go completely off of the content creation side. But what is your biggest fear?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't know if it's I don't know how honest of an answer is, but the first thing that comes to mind, and I'm not too you know, I have no shame, and I am perfectly willing to admit that I don't want to be in the same neighborhood as a spider.
Okay.
I cannot deal. I short circuit. I think that the worst incarnation of a spider experience for me that I have that unfortunately has happened multiple times is being in the car and seeing a spider dangling or crawling next to me, and then like I look over and I look back and I look over and it's gone. Like, no.
That's what you...
No, it's phobia. I have these ridiculous phobias, which I know make no sense, and it is undyingly frustrating for me as someone who tries to be such a logical, rational, just so person, that the existence of this spider, this just little spider bro just living its life, but just I cannot go on
No,
in the same space as one of these little harmless creatures. The little guys, they're not gonna do anything. There's nothing it could possibly do to hurt me.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah,
no pain. No, it could crawl all over me. It could try to kill me, and it would fail to hurt me, and I still don't want it.
Oh,
You can't rationalize it out of me. It's there.
I could fully understand. I have friends that I've quite literally chased with my hands like this, say, hey, come look at this spider. There's nothing in there, but they literally they run hella quick. And like, it's funny, okay? It's funny. It's not, I shouldn't be doing it, but hi ho, all right?
You know, that's fine. That's fine. I'm sure they've never once thought about giving you your comeuppance about that one. Yeah.
Oh, well, I have a few fears of my own, and they definitely exploit them, much to my non-agreement. So we're even there.
That's
we're
how
even.
it goes,
it's
isn't
fine. Yeah.
Sure. Got to keep things interesting.
Right? Literally. And like scientists do say that you should do one thing that scares you per day because it's great for your circulation. It's great. Honestly, it's scientifically proven. So yeah, in your case, stare at a spider once a day.
Gets the heart pumping. Yeah. I'm not up to date on my science, but I'm pretty sure when your heart is supposed to pump. I think your heart pumping is generally considered a good thing. So yeah, okay, that checks out.
I mean,
sure.
Yeah.
Thanks. Confirming that. Yeah.
Oh god, but so from the time that you started your streaming, like we said, many of upgrades have needed to happen. Now, one thing that is very like apparent with everyone that I've had on here, right? They've started off with a certain set of hardware, and then as things went on, they've realized I need to have better hardware, and they've upgraded things, me included. I've upgraded everything from my PC to my monitors to my lights to everything, right? What hardware did you start off with in comparison to what you have now?
So, let's see here. You know what? Yeah, I'm getting my story straight because I'm going to tell you about my downgrade.
Hold up. No, that's the wrong direction to be going in with hardware.
You are right. You are right.
If you say you started off with a Threadripper and you're like on a on a K series now, I'm not gonna be impressed. Okay.
I started streaming shortly after building my first PC.
Oh, okay.
I had never done this before. I built it. I selected the hardware, and I was very happy with it. It was not top of the line even at the time that I built it, but it was quite good.
Yeah.
So i7 was available at the time, but I elected to go on a little on kind of splitting the difference between a budget and a top of the line. I got a rather powerful i5 series.
Okay.
With the intention of overclocking it. And so I did, and that's what I had. And I had a fairly good GPU at the time. It's the GPU has not changed.
Okay. What GPU do you have?
Goodness, is it MSI Radeon?
Oh, you went down the AMD side. Okay.
Yeah, it's can actually pull it up right here. It is the R9 390X.
So you like to heat your house with your computer? Yes. Okay, right.
Precisely. So obviously, stock cooling was insufficient. I went with an aftermarket liquid cooling. So I was building my first PC. I was excited. I wanted to go the whole 9 yards. I wanted to, get all this fancy crap in there. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. There were a lot of scares.
Steep learning curve.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
I tried to do a bit too much, actually. If I think that some of the parts I got were a little nonsense. I kind of let myself get taken for a ride on high speed RAM and other such mistakes of where to invest my money for this sort of thing. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. No regrets in the end, except the one, which is that. A couple of months ago now, this is all recent. This is a fresh wound for me. My computer would no longer boot. Could not get it into Windows. It was dead. As sudden as that, nothing.
Okay.
I ran every test I could think of. I opened it up and pulled out this part and that. I was like, I've had hard drive problems in the past. Let me, rip out this old drive which I had turned off. One of these fancy things that I got into my head that I needed. I had this M2 NVMe SSD, which I actually never got working because it was some off-brand, thing that wasn't as compatible as I thought it was going to be. I think if I could buy one now and it would be fine, it would be great, fast. They're cheap now. But anyway, that thing was sitting in my computer turned off. So I'm like, no, let me rip it out and let me rip out every USB device. Let me rip out one RAM chip. No, let me rip out the other RAM. Nothing. I came to believe, after consulting with several in-the-know people, that it was just utter failure and I was going to need a new processor and a new motherboard.
And a new motherboard, okay.
Well, the deal with the motherboard is that it was a very old one.
Right.
So in order to get a processor built in the modern era, I was going to need a new motherboard to support it.
Yeah. I'm all too familiar with compatibility of motherboards and CPUs. Yeah. Okay.
So I went through all this and I examined the options and I said, well, I could find a processor that still fits that old motherboard, but it would be more expensive than it's worth at this point because of their rarity, I guess.
Yeah.
So I said, well, upgrading my motherboard is probably not the worst idea. But I ended up saying, well, I wasn't prepared to spend $800 in total on a significant upgrade. I was like, no, this computer that I've had is fine. I want as little to change about it as possible. If I'm going to upgrade it, I want to do it for real. Rip everything out and start over. I'm not ripping everything out and starting over. I just want to
get it back up and running.
Bide the time, get it back up and running until I'm in a place where I can say, okay, I'm ready to spend another $1,500 and do this for real. Because it's at this point it's 4 or 5 years old and it's still passable. So I upgraded my motherboard, which doesn't really do anything, and got a processor that is compatible with this motherboard and these other parts, which is a slight minuscule downgrade in performance from this overclocked i5 that I had.
You went for an i3, didn't you?
No, it's oh god, I'm unprepared with exactly what this is. I'm not as well versed in the hardware as I should be. It's it'll come to me. But
okay.
the fact of it being a downgrade is really not the point or the punchline, as it were, of this story, because you can consider it a lateral move. I was not happy about spending a couple $100 on a lateral move, but that's effectively what it was. It was a barely noticeable downgrade in performance to bide my time to save my money for a future upgrade.
Okay.
So I went through all that work. I tore everything out. If you're replacing your motherboard, you're rebuilding your computer from scratch. So I did all that crap, and it still wouldn't turn the hell on.
It was the power supply, wasn't it?
No, good guess, but the power supply was fine. Of all the freaking things, it was my CD DVD drive.
How? What? What?
The whole time there was a disc in there, and it must have been trying to, I don't know, boot from it or something. I don't know. But I found that of all of the things that I tried pulling out of this goddamn contraption, I totally disregarded the DVD drive, saying, no, that's not involved in this. That doesn't cause a computer to stop posting.
What?
But it did.
That was
it
weird.
Was it's I guess a burnt connection or somehow this drive is so busted that my computer is trying to identify all possible bootable drives, and it finds this and it's like, all right, let me identify you, because it's SATA, it's a drive. I hadn't told it in the BIOS to boot from it, but it's a drive, and it's just like, all right, let me try to identify this drive. And it's stuck. I don't know. I don't have an explanation. a freaking gremlin inside my machine decided that this drive is vitally important to booting to Windows. And I finally, too late, figured that out, ripped it out. My computer booted just fine. And I breathe a sigh of relief. And then I'm like, that's all I had to do in the first place, isn't it? My motherboard was fine. My processor was fine. It was just this freaking DVD drive that I don't even use.
Well, I mean, on the upside, you've essentially got like minus a GPU and a power supply. You've essentially got a streaming computer right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's always upsides in these things.
I could stream that HDMI from play games on one PC, stream to the other PC, get that beautiful dual PC setup. You're not wrong. I could do that. But ask me if I want to go through the work right now.
Hell no. No, I can relate to that.
Hell no.
Yeah. But that's great because, again, leads perfectly onto my next question. It's almost like I've scripted this just to work in my the way I want.
Am I even a real person, or just his latest writing project?
But this question I really like because it shows people just what is actually important and what isn't important, depending on. And the answer to this question is always different with every single person, but it's a two-part question. So I want to know, what is a huge change that you've made, excluding the one you've just said, that has had little to no impact? And on the other side of that coin, what is a very small change that you've made that's had a absolutely massive impact in your opinion?
Okay. A huge change that has had little to no impact, for now, might have to be my overzealous purchasing spree of cool gadgets. I bought the fantastically useful and fun Stream Deck.
Okay.
Which I don't think I've used in months.
Oh,
I've used in maybe one or two streams since I've gotten it. There was a compatibility problem at the time with the version of OBS Studio, and I couldn't get it to change scenes. And I pretty much just up and gave up on it after that. It's probably working fine now, but it didn't work immediately. And so, out of habit now, my go live procedure is I close all unnecessary applications on my computer and I just close the Stream Deck and it turns off. I don't use it, and I should, but this is I mean, I'm feeling really outed here, but it's my own fault.
I mean, I will say, like, I am more than happy to just take that off your hands. I can find it a new home, okay? Don't even worry about it.
It's something I need to change. It's something I need to get back rolling on. I did some fun stuff. I have snap camera set up. Ooh, actually, this can maybe be the small change that has had, I think, a big impact, is changing my video device to snap camera to get those. Oh, it's the PC application from Snapchat, which will give you visual filters over your face. You've seen everyone has seen the meme of some hapless unfortunate souls trapped in a Zoom meeting as a potato.
Yeah.
That is from Snap Camera. If you have that installed on your computer and you have set it up as your primary video input device, and you perhaps don't know any better as to how to change it, you too could be stuck as a potato.
Wow.
All eternity.
Now, I actually make these I make these notes occasionally, on my list, and then I always refer back to them, which is gonna be one of those that I actually add on there. So it's a Snap camera. I feel like
Oh yeah.
the chat is gonna be in control of that. I will say that.
Oh yes. That is how I have found it to be as well. I have many of my redemptions are set up with that in mind. I have a few select filters that I love. I do have the potato. I have anime face, which is kind of unnerving. It's almost turns me into a VTuber. Yeah. The one downside is it doesn't do beards very well.
I know, I can relate to that
at all. Yeah, but there's some fun stuff up there. If someone has rated me, so this is back to the conversation about the Stream Deck. When I do have that set up, which I sometimes do, just out of habit, not so much anymore. I have my button set up to change the filter. So with a press of a button, someone raids me, and I'm like, click, and my face is now an atomic bomb explosion. It's awesome.
Okay.
I think it has really added some awesome flavor to the whole experience, and I've been underutilizing it because of the whole Stream Deck thing. But I think that tiny little easy change has just added a whole new fun factor.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. And obviously using some of those, like, you must have been having a great time, right? Because
it's fun for me, yeah.
And going from that, what is your favorite stream to date and why?
Oh boy.
I got
over
hard questions.
3 years. Over 3 years. What is my favorite stream to date? I might have to cop out and give a couple of answers just to keep the conversation going, but one to kind of send a message that viewer count has never been of that much importance to me. One of my most personally satisfying streams is one which, as it happened, I think must have had, over the course of it, between 0 and 2 viewers at any given time. And I keep bringing this up. My love of Undertale being such an influence on why I got started in this in the first place, and feeling, mind you, excuse me, I had a puberty moment. Feeling that, look, you one of your first questions you asked me tonight was, well, if this game is so important to you, did you ever stream it? And I never did. That is actually kind of one of my regrets, that this game, which taught me that I could enjoy watching other people play something, that I could get enjoyment out of that, I was never able to flip the script on that particular game. It's not like it's illegal for me to stream this game. It's not like anyone would have a problem with it, but it wouldn't be a genuine first-time experience, which is what I was trying to provide. Maybe one day I will stream Undertale. I don't know. But I know that it won't quite be the same. And if you're not familiar with the game, there was recently the beginnings of a sequel. It has come out, Deltarune. So there's, at this point, there's only Deltarune Part 1 is available. I found out about this game being released, and I just about pooped. I was so excited. This was my personal most anticipated thing to happen on the internet in so long, and I literally took my computer, which by terrible accident was in storage at the time because we had just set up for a party. This was back when I was streaming out of the laundry room. So we were about to have a house party. So this is also pre-pandemic days when you could have house parties. my computer had been taken apart, put in a closet, and then this game comes out. And I'm like, look, I'm streaming this right now. I am dropping everything in my life to do this. I'm taking my computer out of the closet, and I did a one-night stream out of the living room with just like kind of set up on a rickety table just so I could play this game right when it came out. And I knew that it wasn't going to be the most popular stream, and that wasn't the point. It was the closest thing I was going to get to doing a first-time, blinders on, no pre-knowledge at all of playing one of the most meaningful games to me. It was finally new content that I was experiencing for the first time in this world. It was just personally meaningful to me. It stands out to me as something that wasn't about the numbers, wasn't about success. It was a purely selfish, this is something that I get to do now, and I did it. That's it. That has to be part of the conversation of my favorite couple of streams that I've ever done.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I'm not able to hear you. Is that on my end?
Yes. Wait, hold on.
Give me one moment.
No, that's my end. I accidentally. Okay, I'll show you why. See, I use this mouse right here, and there's that button right there that is my mute for my Discord, right? And my keyboard is directly aligned with that button. So if I move my mouse ever so slightly too much to the left, it clicks it for me.
Gotcha. No worries. I hope I didn't miss anything big.
No, you didn't. Yeah. No, nothing important. I don't say anything important anyway, so you're all good.
Who does? Yeah. We all just like to talk. Yeah.
Oh god. But okay, so my next question. It's got rules. So I want to know the names of the positive ones and the reason why you like them, right? But the negative ones, I don't want to know the names of. I just want to know the qualities you didn't like. So with those rules, the question is, who have you worked with or streamed with or been a part of the community of that you thought was just absolutely amazing? That you thought they had that something that just grabbed you and just held you there, and you wanted to be there. You wanted to go through that again. You loved the time that you had with them, and it's just an inspiration. And on the other side of that coin, who have you thought, wow, I can't believe I've even thought about doing this. They are complete and total arse hat.
Okay, right. All right, I'm gonna do my best with this. God, there have been a good number of streamers, content creators out there who I came in there and within seconds I was just floored by the energy that their channel had. And it could be from their personality, from their just their bells and whistles of their channel. Some people just do this so well with the alerts and the, a button on their stream deck that does this or that. There could be so much going on dancing around on stream, on camera, that it's just a playhouse and I don't want to leave. And one example of that, an artist formerly known as Double Dugs, now I believe just Doug It, does these floating head streams with these ridiculous scenarios. I've actually emulated this, as a poor emulation at one point. But I am nowhere near the level of fun and in your face alerts and like something out of like a 90s magazine of just flashing fun stuff and sound alerts and visual alerts. I'm a sucker for this stuff. This is really like life goals for me. I need to like watch back some of these videos and see one by one any of these things that I want to start working on. But it's just so like visually appealing. It's like watching some fun Adult Swim after hours ridiculous like 15-minute program that they'll release with no warning. It's just, I like fun. I like high energy. I don't consider myself that high energy. I think I'm medium energy. I think that I tend to match the energy of the people I'm in a conversation with. And when I'm on Twitch and I'm the only person on display audibly talking, you have to kind of fill in the gaps when you're understanding what the energy of the room is. So you kind of make it up as you go along.
100%.
But you know, if your chat is popping and enthusiastic, I don't know about you, but that gives me life.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
The faster it's scrolling by, the more exclamation points are out there. It really gives me energy, and I snowball out of control when that happens. So I'm this energy sponge with that sort of thing. But some people are always on, and I mean always, and I really admire that in streamers like that. And they're just able to keep it fun, no dead air, always excited about something or other. Another streamer who is excellent at that is Slackinator, a member of the retro speedrunning community, who has those bells and whistles and the energy. He's one of the most amazing stream hosts that there is. He is just a workhorse in what he has done for his channel and his community. These are people who have just like worked really hard, and I admire what they're able to do to keep things enjoyable. They're attentive to their chat. It is like, you know, you can be a stranger and boom, you have found a fast friend who will drop their stream and answer any questions and do anything for you, and that blows my mind.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think that's a massive reason why people go to Twitch, because there is people out there, like excluding some of the larger streamers, like larger audience streamers, because with those, like you've probably seen it yourself, but the rate and the speed in which the chat goes is ridiculous, and they can't always answer the questions of the viewers as easily as some of the smaller streamers can, because they haven't got the absolute flowing of mumbo jumbo that everyone's spamming stuff in their chat. And it's nice because you can speak to people, you can make it more personal. And yes, that's why people stick around. It is 100% true. But
totally,
there's the other side of the coin.
Yeah, and a lot of these examples of people who, I guess, fail to meet the bar of what we're discussing. There are probably more of those who I, probably don't remember the names of, but people who have, and I don't always fault people for this. There are just people who are not necessarily, born hosts of this kind, and I empathize with that a little bit, because I never really started out trying to grow and be this curator of an awesome community. I didn't think I could. It's only until recent times that I've realized that there really is this awesome group of people that I am interacting with. But I don't think everyone has fully embraced that idea. And there are people who don't pay attention to chat at all, or who are at times aggressive needlessly with their chat, which I just don't understand, who view it almost as a nuisance. I mean, the respect goes both ways. There are often users who might be pushing buttons that they shouldn't be pushing, and some streamers are better than others at taking that in stride, or like how they handle that is their business. But some people are, I guess, less thankful or grateful or respectful of people's time. I can tell you that in my first year of streaming, I received my first raid, and I just about lost my mind with the hype and energy that these people were bringing to me. I didn't fully understand what a raid was at the time, but I knew that all of these strangers had come to me with this amazing energy, and they didn't know who I was, but they were just bringing the love and I was like, I would do anything for you people right now. What do I do? What do I do? Do you want to see my dogs? I started dancing with I was like, thank you. And so ever since then, I have relished in bringing that energy to other people. I always, without exception, end my streams with a raid. I am am I allowed to talk about like communities that I'm in that are not necessarily part of my channel?
Yeah,
I mean, you may already be aware of Raid Party Plus in that case. You're familiar with 50% Gaming and other present and former members of this crew. I mean, that is who was responsible for my first raid, which was an unbelievable experience and instrumental in me reaching affiliate status as another direct consequence of that day. So I really take that seriously. I love supporting other streamers, rating them, being involved in these weekly events where we get to gather up and then bring the love to people, show support, follow them if we wish. It brings me a lot of joy seeing people take that for the act of love that it is. And some people just don't. Some people are like, what's that? All right, cool, I guess. Like,
oh no, I fully understand that.
I think they perhaps don't understand. Like I don't think I'm a terribly judgmental person, but I'd be lying if I said that sometimes it wasn't, a little bit, not what I was looking for.
Yeah, no, I can fully understand that, and it was all to do with people's energy, because there's certain people that I've raided, and I've raided them, and I've gone to their channel, and I've come in with like 10 viewers, for example, and they go, "Oh, thanks for the raid, carry on playing." They don't like acknowledge the people that these are brand new people. The way that I look at a raid is exactly the same as walking into a party with a few of your friends, right?
Yeah.
Some of your friends may already know some of the people there. Majority of the time, you're not going to know anyone there. You might know a couple person, maybe the person that's like just also gone in for the party, but you won't know the host. So the first thing you got to do, you got to start talking to people, introducing yourself, saying hello, getting to know them, finding out who you like, who you don't like, so you can hang around with them. If you don't do that, you're going to be the same person, the same group of friends that walked in through that door, standing in the corner by yourself, not interacting with everyone else. And that's how you leave a party early. And that's why, because people don't find it fun.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I think you're absolutely right. I think you've touched on some serious stuff that is just no-brainer to me, but I think it's not a no-brainer to everyone. I think that especially newer streamers might not get it, and I don't know how to, teach people about that, but I think that there can be a lot of defensiveness and double mind games with interacting with other people on this and any other platform. People tend to be afraid of something like a raid, because they might, first of all, they might not be aware that a raid is a good thing. Kind of, they might view that word with a negative connotation. They might see it as a group of trolls, which it could be. There are defensive operations in there. You can disable raids. I don't know why anyone would. I think it's a bad idea, but you can. I see people with follower only chat mode on, which no. I very much disagree with, but I think people do it without understanding the culture. I think that's what it is. I think it's a different understanding of what Twitch is. You see people being afraid to acknowledge a raid because perhaps you're worried that the raider is another streamer looking to advertise themselves, and you don't want to give them the floor. And I can understand that premise. You don't have to give someone the floor and say, hey, I'm going to shout you out. Everyone go follow this person. You don't have, that's not a necessary part of a response to a raid, but a thank you and an attempt for that person who received the raid, an attempt to pitch themselves to the raidees is probably a good idea for them.
yeah. But you did touch on something a second ago, which I have to say something about. So you said about follower only chats.
Sure.
I can understand where you're coming from. However, I will add that there are specific streamers on Twitch and other platforms that would benefit more from providing a follower only chat. For example, we're all aware that there is several different streamers out there that offer the boyfriend/girlfriend experience on this platform, and for them, for their brand, for where they are in relation to how many followers they have, and etc., it would be more beneficial for them to have a follower only chat, because it shows that if someone's willing to be a follower, to invest that what's it called, to invest themselves, it would be more beneficial, because it means that they're not going to come in and troll. I can see why some people put it in, because obviously they don't want trolls, because obviously anyone can come into my chat and say whatever they want within reason. I have got a chat bot that does things. I have got mods that also look at these things, but I can understand why some of the smaller streamers would think that is a good idea, because it also they think, oh well, if someone wants to chat, they're gonna have to follow me, which means I'm gonna get more followers. They don't look at it as, oh, they're gonna have to follow me. They don't know if they like me yet. They're gonna have to follow me before they even say anything along those lines. But
right,
I can also agree, like Jess just put it in chat, like some people don't always want to follow. Like I personally don't. There was one channel that I watched for a while that had follower only chat, and I was very quick. I say very quick. It was like 2 or 3 streams later, I realized that this is not somewhere I want to be, and I didn't even go past the follow. I didn't actually click the follow. I just knew the channel. I saw it live a couple of times. I clicked on it. I watched it, and I realized it was just there to pass the time. I wasn't actually invested in it, and I didn't actually carry on. So for some people, it works, but not for everyone. I will say that.
Absolutely. I think there's a time and a place for any of these things. If there weren't a legitimate purpose for something like this, it wouldn't exist. I certainly try not to be judgmental of somebody who has an option like this turned on. I just think that, like you said, I like to try to get to know somebody a little bit before I take that investment of a follow, and chat interaction is usually very important to me as a viewer of someone's channel. So if I don't get a good sense of that, it's hard to get
Yeah.
over that.
I mean,
But
it's quite literally the reason why Twitch is the
yeah.
way it is. Otherwise, you'd be watching YouTube. Like, simple
Yeah.
as that.
But there is, as you said, that there is such a wide variety of ways to use this platform. It's not just games. There's art. There is, D&D. There's makers and crafting. There's, getting out of Twitch. There are other platforms where people are, getting other things out of what they do. There's something for everybody, and everyone is going to have their different set of what they're comfortable with allowing in their own chat.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And their own personal rules may evolve and grow over time or not. I respect the wishes of the curator of any channel that I go into, first and foremost. If they, for instance, are playing a game and they don't want backseating, well, I'm not going to say anything that I have any sense that might be construed as backseating, unless they ask for it, or if I ask in a very general sense, what sort, do you want any comments or questions at all? Like, even if someone has a rule which I wish they didn't have, I think it's important that I still follow it. So if someone has, follower only chat on, well, okay, they've set that boundary, and it's up to me to decide whether I'm willing to watch them for a while and take the investment of following them in chat, or I can go about my business and close the window. And that's on me, and I'm not going to get angry about it. It's just something that I think in some cases may be a bad strategy.
Oh no, you're fully allowed to have your own
Yeah.
opinion on this. Like, in my opinion, as the majority of the time, like, I'd say about 80% of the time that I come across a follower only chat, I just go, I can't be bothered to like even try and press follow.
Yeah.
They're forcing me to follow to even be able to chat. That's not why I come to Twitch. See you later. There is, however, the other 20% of the time when I think to myself, do you know what? This would be so much better. I don't know why they have that turned on. So I then specifically take the time to follow and then ask them in chat, why do you have follower only chat on? It's not that beneficial. It can turn people off. And then they would either give me oh, I didn't know that. I'll go turn it off. Thanks for letting me know. Or, well, if you don't like it, you can get out of it. And then I literally say, okay, no worries. See you later. Unfollow, close, bye-bye. Simple as that.
Yep.
But what I'll do now is I'll ask you a question and we'll go for another break because we're running on a second hour of this. So I want to know your death row meal. I'm talking starter, mains, and dessert. Okay? Anything you want, any quantity you want, what you're going to have. And I want to know the answer after this break time. See you in a while, people. Hey, yo, people, we're back. We're back. Cut the break a little bit short, but we're back here. How's your day been, mate? My day's been alright. Thank you for asking, friend. I hope your day's been great as well. But before break, I asked you your death row meal, your starters, your mains, your dessert, what you having.
In that much detail. Well, I'll tell you, it's not my answer, but out of just ridiculousness, I have to let you know that the first thing that popped into my mind was Taco Bell.
Okay. No. I got time for that. Okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm never not craving Taco Bell. I'm never not down for it. It's always an option for me. But I think that if I'm going out, I want to go big. We're talking something out of Man versus Food, one of these, something out of Good Mythical Morning, some absolutely insane, burrito chimichanga bake, like a 6 foot
just the monstrosity
tray
of food
of burrito lasagna layered with bacon and just some terrible thing that I'd be regretting the day after, except
you won't be regretting it. Yes, 100%. Okay, I got time. Okay,
I'm gonna want plates on the side of chicken tikka masala.
Ooh, okay.
Korean barbecue tacos, and something I've always wanted to try that I'd probably be willing to try under those circumstances. There's that one like poisonous blowfish that if you don't cut it just right, it
can kill you. Yeah,
it's like nerve gas or something. It just I don't even know if it's supposed to be that good, but I don't know. That's one thing to try. Why not at that point?
Yeah, I suppose
that has to be in there.
Okay. All right. And for your dessert?
My dessert, yeah. Well, if I've got room, I'm a dark chocolate guy, but well, we're gonna need a multi-course dessert because there has to be dark chocolate involved. There has to be fudge. We're talking fudge. Something out of I love the Ben and Jerry's style ice cream with 7,000 different chunks of things packed into it. So something with like giant monstrous mounds of just like chocolate fudge cubes, that sort of thing, like cookie dough and the kitchen sink thrown in.
We're talking like diabetes on a plate. Yes, I like it.
Who cares about diabetes at that point? But there's actually one of my favorite restaurants, the Brazilian steakhouse style of cuisine, where they're bringing you all the different cuts of steak. Ooh, we got to throw steak in there. Love some good cuts of meat. So that's going to be part of, I don't know what's the appetizer or the main course anymore, but it's in there.
Just the mound of
We're not going out
food.
without a little steak. Medium rare
of
cut.
Of course.
Of course. Yep. Man of style. Good job. But so happens that the one of my favorite things out of that steakhouse, they have a dessert. It's this amazing like fruit sherbet style like drink. It's I think it's a papaya cream. It's got just like a little bit of liqueur in it. It's such an upscale delicious. That is something I definitely want one more time before I go. That is in there.
Okay.
I like fine things. I like different ethnic cuisines. I think that we're gonna do a tour of the world before I go there. That's so you've got your Indian, you've got your Brazilian, you've got your Mexican. I kind of want to try everything before I die is kind of my style. So just a sampling of, that's how I like to experience the world. Yeah, I know we're talking about death, but I want to talk about life for a second. I miss traveling. One thing that I really want to take advantage of again as soon as I can is travel. I've been to different parts of Europe. I've been to the Caribbean, and I always want to I always want to know what's the local delicacy. What's your, you go to the Caribbean and they've got loads of banana ketchup. It's like, oh, that's different. I like it. I want to try all the stuff that they're locally proud of. If you go to France, every little province has their own winery and their own
spin on
cheese
things. Yeah.
that they make, and they're like, this, this it's not mozzarella or cheddar. Like, this is from the nth province of France. This local farmhouse insists this is the best cheese in the world.
Oh,
that's how I like to explore the world, is through taste. So I want to do as much of that as I can while I'm on this planet, and if I'm about to go off this planet, I want it all back. I want a reminder.
I can kind of envision one of those, like, when you see those Asian style restaurants where they have like the conveyor belts with like this tiny little plates of food, you just pick them off and take them. I could just envision one of those like conveyor belts of just tiny little dishes of different countries' foods just
directly into
by.
my mouth.
Oh my god, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay, well, moving on. What is something that you think you are good at and something that you think you are bad at when it comes to your content creation? Or your online presence? Right.
So I've alluded several times now that I have kind of been in, I wouldn't say transitioning into being solely a speedrunner, but this is, at this point, the majority of my recent content is speedrunning. I think that my ideal balance might shift back to, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But with this new venture of speedrunning, I find that while I am not the most skilled player out there, I'm getting better, but I'm not a total savant. I'm not a robot when it comes to this stuff. I'm not perfect. But one aspect of myself, of my personality, that I think really favors this kind of content is that I don't do a whole lot of rage quitting. I don't let a failure get me down. I see failure as an inevitability on the roads to success. And that sounds so cliche, but it's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to live it. And if I lose a good run to bad luck or to a bad mistake late on, it's like, oh well, try again.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the nature of the beast, isn't it?
That's a good skill to have, to be honest, to be able to learn from mistakes. Yeah, 100%.
And I was just having this discussion before that, to be fair, I don't know that is strictly necessary to have that quality. Maybe, I'm playing devil's advocate with myself here. Maybe in some cases it could be better to have such a passion, such a drive to be the best, to get that world record at all costs, that you see that failure is unacceptable and you get down on yourself and you're like, no, I'm better than that. Dang it. I'm terrible. I think that sort of attitude can be unhealthy, but I don't mean to knock that attitude completely. Maybe there is a middle ground where, you want to see that somebody cares about what they're doing, which I do. But I think that caring to the point where you get down about yourself in an unhealthy way is, unfortunate. And I think that I am at a pretty happy balance, that I can take problems like that in stride. I persevere. I do not have a problem with it. I don't set unrealistic expectations for myself in these games. I am willing to laugh at myself for bungling something. It doesn't matter if I'm in the middle of a world record pace run or playing something for the first time. If I can't laugh at myself, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah, no, I can 100% agree with you on that. So, what would you say that's a good point? Or would you say that's a bad point?
Oh, I think that's a good point.
Okay.
I think that it helps me not quit.
Hmm.
Uh, I think that if it helps me enjoy what I do. If I didn't have that quality, I don't think I could continue competitive game speedrunning. I
Hmm.
think that I would get frustrated and stop trying and move on, go back to playing some other type of game where it's more casual.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's also a boon for people watching the content. I think people like to see passion, but I think that if I got down about myself too much, they might get turned off. Nobody wants to see someone have an episode of just like I like
Just
to keep
feeling
things
down
more
about yourself.
positive.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
there's a saying in a lot of speedrunning communities that I don't know if how many people here are involved in the speedrunning and retro speedrunning in particular communities, but we talk about PMA, positive mental attitude.
Mm-hmm. 100%. That's not just in that specific category. That's just across everything. Because if
Absolutely.
you don't have that positive mental like outlook on things, you always have to look for that one tiny silver lining of the cloud, because that is what carries you on. That is what you need to carry on. Like 100%. I could fully agree with you on that one. But what would you say is something that you're bad at?
Well, we've talked about video editing, but that might not count.
Yeah, I mean, it's a valid answer. Yeah.
I think that when it comes to my overlay and my I talked about some streamers that I admire in particular, and their bells and whistles, their alerts, their whole setup. Um, I feel as though mine is not very imaginative. I've always been a little more minimalist. I don't really have an overlay to speak of. I kind of have a solid color background with maybe one or two widgets depending on what type of game I'm playing or content I'm serving. I feel as though I could stand to put more effort into making my canvas cooler. I mean, I'm looking at yours is awesome right now. You've got this animated imagery in the background. You have your border, which you even told me the story about your border. You took your corners were
Yeah, they're
at
just
the
touching.
edges,
Yeah.
and you decided after putting the imagery is awesome, and then you decided, oh no, it would look even better, that much better with this little tweak.
Yeah.
It looks so good. You would think that you've been doing this for years and years.
It's a very steep learning curve, I will say that, because I have made a mistake of, in the beginning I was like, I need to have a decent overlay to make sure that I'm good, I need to look professional, which there's a certain aspect of that which is true, like the look of your channel has to have a continuity within it, or there's certain aspects that have to go with each other essentially. And I made a mistake in the beginning of thinking that was absolutely necessary, and I spent money on buying some of these overlays. And
Hell yeah.
I went through, I think it was in the end about 3 or 4 changes to the look of my channel until I was actually happy with it. And I've reached this one, and I quite like the style of this one. And obviously, my name being the Eighth is my so the story behind my name. So my middle name is Octavian, and it's a Roman name, and hence all the different styling aspects of it. And I think that reflects the name, as well as the fact that I like how simple yet like refined it looks, but at the same time it can be something completely entirely different. It can have a silly side of it, sort of thing. And again, it's a very steep learning curve, and then eventually you're going to get it. Eventually you're going to get to a point where you're happy with it. On the other hand of it, on the other side of that coin, I've seen streamers that, like you, are minimalistic, and they're happy with minimalistic. Oh, pardon me. And it works. I've seen channels that have like they haven't got all the bells and whistles, and they haven't got all the rest of it. They've got the most simple alerts. They have the most simple look to their channel, and it just works. So it's just a case of finding something that portrays you in a way that you like it. So, yeah, 100%.
I hear that. I think some of it comes back to. I really liked one of your earlier questions about, you asked my profession, and I said software developer, and you kind of asked it, you mentioned with an air of one's career and job might have similarities or, in many cases, drastic differences between the type of content and the type of content creator I am. And I think that we're touching on some things that really show that what I do for my day job represents what I am really good at, and that is the technical aspect and the. Sorry, I'm seeing in chat here.
The fishing fish. I got time for that. Okay, I got time for that. Yes, sir.
But I have to say, welcome, Fishy Fish. This is my wife. This is my wife. Welcome in.
Hello, Fishy Fish. How you doing?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yes. Yes. My long-suffering wife. She puts up with me. I appreciate you.
Oh God, that's brilliant.
Yeah. She's always here to heckle me when I need it.
That's what you need. That's what you need. You always need that one heckler to push you on, because when someone's heckling you, it means you're doing something right. Because that's the way I look at it. Yeah, because if I can be on a platform where there's hecklers that feel the need to let me know just how annoying I am or just how bad of a job I'm doing, it warms my heart with hatred. Ah, it's so nice.
That's it. Fishy Fish, you warm my heart with hatred. Thank you.
I feel like you're gonna pay for that comment one day.
No, she knows that's about right. That's a relationship. Yeah.
Oh God.
I apologize. I don't even know what we were talking about, but
I don't even know what I was talking about. I think it was like something that you're good and bad at, sort of thing. But
I was remarking on that. As a software guy, I'm not the web designer guy. I'm not the person who decides what this web page is going to look like and implements the color and the scheme and the padding and the borders. I've never been visually, aesthetically talented. I do all of the back end nuts and bolts stuff that, database programming, all the stuff that is the workhorse of the machine, but not the, we would say front end, nothing that anyone sees.
I was literally thinking about, let's say you deal more with the back end of things, and
precisely.
I can 100%. Yeah.
And so the funny thing is this, that kind of explains, doesn't it, the fact that I don't have much in the way of an overlay and the bells and whistles. I don't do that. I admire people who do it well, and it's a skill that I don't have, and it's something I could invest in. I could, purchase assets. I could have somebody help me. And I mentioned before art that supporters have done for me that I have implemented into my stream layout. It's great, but talking about strengths and weaknesses, it's such a strange thing that I am this Twitch streamer, this content creator, when my work environment almost never requires me to deal with people. I've always, my whole career, been siloed in a cubicle or an office on my computer. I'm hunched over my keyboard. I am the exception to the dress code because no client or user will ever see me. They keep me in the back,
Quite literally the back end. Yeah. No, that's why I like asking the question, because it just goes to show that just because you're appearing on camera doesn't mean that you do this for a living. Like, this is the only time that I appear on camera. Most of the time I'm out doing my own job, which is completely different to this. And it's a skill. It is undoubtedly a skill. In some cases, it's even a talent, depending on how people put themselves across. And it matters. It genuinely matters, because some people are great for Twitch. They have that live interaction. They can just go, yes, they can involve the chat in ways that it gets more people involved and more people interested in what they're saying. And there's some people that just are better at the technical side of things, which are great for example, YouTube, because you can edit down. And that's why the question I had earlier, which is what's your style on Twitch and or YouTube, because between the two of them there could be a drastic difference. I've had people on here that were originally YouTubers that have moved to Twitch, and they've said to me about how much of a difference it is, because with YouTube they're not interacting with people in the same way that they are with Twitch, and there is a massive difference between the two of them. And yes, I have people that, okay, so everyone knows this by now that's been a follower of my channel and watches my videos, okay? But Jet's official, we both started streaming at the same time, and he is the more technical minded one of the two of us. And I have brought this man, and I'm forever proud of this, okay? And I've brought this man to forever change his Discord status to have support mode off, which is it's a life achievement of mine, okay? And I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for his know-how and for his unrelenting help towards the channel. So, like, realistically, massive shout out to Jets. Like, Jets official, you're my guy. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for you. So you take that, buddy. But 100%, you can't do this 100% by yourself. If you, well, I say you can't. It's very hard to do it by yourself. Having the help of others massively will help you out, because you've got strengths in your own areas. Doesn't mean you're great at everything.
That's very wise. I couldn't agree with you more.
100%. But what I want to know, right? Has streaming influenced your personal being outside of the internet, of the online world? I'm talking about your confidence. I'm talking about the way that you approach conversations, the way that you speak to others, and the way that you listen to others. Has streaming influenced you? Negatives or positives?
I suppose it probably has. It's not something I've given a lot of thought to. It has certainly been a step outside of my comfort zone in a number of ways. As we've discussed, it is far from the sort of thing that I have to do for my day job. And I think that focusing on developing these skills of keeping the conversation going, of being open to whatever words are being thrown at me, just keeping that going, expanding on that, trying to keep new viewers there, get them to keep talking, to open up. I suppose it's kind of like interview skills.
100%. Yeah, it literally is.
Yeah. So I don't know that I have consciously applied these skills to my everyday life or to my professional environment, but now that you mention it, I think that maybe now I could be a better interviewer to new tech candidates at work. I don't know. It's kind of been a development of social skills in general. you would think that it would have led for me to care more about my appearance, but that has not always been a priority for me.
Even now,
I need to sit up straight and trim my beard better, and I really shouldn't
Hey,
I?
right, hold up. Right, I feel personally attacked here because I'm wearing a top. I just pulled out of nowhere. Look, I will stand up and I'll show you. It's still got stains all over it. This is all my... What happens in the camera frame stays in camera frame. What's off camera, let's just leave that untidiness where it is, okay? I will admit my bedroom has been laid out in such a way so that whatever is in the camera frame is lovely and tidy. What is outside of it, that's a different story, okay? But we won't go there because this is all you need to see. Oh, God.
Fair enough, man.
Okay, so what kind of content do you do now? Because you did briefly touch over a few of the things, but what can someone going to your channel expect when they go there?
Right. So right now, coming back to this idea of the speed running venture of my life, I am a variety retro speedrunner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running primarily Nintendo, 8-bit Nintendo, NES games. I don't tend to play any one game exclusively for any long period of time. Right now, I am in the middle of a grind on Gauntlet for the NES.
Mm-hmm.
This is a pretty legendary, hard, old game, I think, that people who grew up with that console, many of them tend to know this game. I owned this game as a child and appreciated it for being a fun game, but really, really never got very far. I don't think I know anybody who actually beat that game as a kid. So the fact that I have learned to beat it and to start competing to beat it faster than other people throughout the world, that I'm grinding my time lower and lower to be able to beat it quickly, doing various artful techniques along the way, and getting good dice rolls for randomness. It's something that I'm very personally proud at. That's my current grind. That's my current project, is getting closer and closer to that world record on beating Gauntlet as fast as possible.
Okay.
But what you'll see is that over the past...
I'm just going to close my window. Carry on. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sure. Over the past half a year or so, I've run quite a wide variety of games. I think I may have talked earlier about running a lot of crap, a lot of just jank, glitch fest stuff, games that look like they were drawn in crayon.
You must have played Bethesda games.
Well, I have. It's not what I'm referring to, but good shade. Yeah. I relish in playing something like Kid Nicky Radical Ninja, or I don't, games with ridiculous premises or titles or visual appearances. A lot of people fondly remember games and game systems from their childhoods, such as Super Mario Brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and The Legend of Zelda. But few people look back on that generation of gaming and say, like, and feel wistful and nostalgic for King Neptune's Adventure. People are generally not aware that such games exist, and arguably many of them shouldn't. I play some real garbage sometimes, and I dissect them, and I work with what I've got and try to destroy what is there. And this is something that I watched other people do it before I started trying it for myself, but the act of routing these games, of scripting out how to get from point A to point B as fast as possible, is really fun. And is something that has become a passion of mine. So you'll see me trying to technically tear apart games of a very, very older generation, just as through a combination of skill, luck, and patience.
Okay, all right. And that actually is brilliant, because that actually goes really well to my next question. I'm going to actually tailor it to you and your type of content. So
Please.
the question itself is, what games do you play on stream and versus off stream? Because there is sometimes a difference between the two of them. But what I want to know is, how do you play any games off stream to prepare yourself for the way you're going to be playing them on stream in regards to your speed running?
The answer is yes. So, well, there are two parts to this. I'll go with the easy one first. That I play games off stream all the time. I play Sea of Thieves with my wife. I play Hearthstone on my phone. Anything to pass the time. I will often practice and learn games offline before I intend to play them before an audience, but not always. This is something that is a constant struggle in speedrunning content creation. Not speedrunning the act of content creation, but in content creation related to speedrunning. Whether or not to stream your learning and your practice. This is a confidence thing, as well as a consideration to make for your audience. Do you or do you not feel comfortable running a game for the first time completely unprepared? It is, to a speedrunner who maybe, for example, a speedrunner who is more at the top of their game, who is really, really well known, who performs at Games Done Quick, and has hundreds of people in their chat every day, and they want to start learning a new game. Are they comfortable appearing vulnerable before their viewers, playing a game that they might not be good at right away? On the whole, I am comfortable with that, but even I sometimes have difficulty not wanting to start preparing offline. Now, I think that a main reason for this is that I might be watching video tutorials, and I certainly don't feel like it would be good content for me to essentially restream somebody else's YouTube video while I just sit and watch and go, I try not to do that. But the question of whether to get good at the game before I start playing it, I don't necessarily feel that I have to, but that's a balance that I struggle to come up with when starting a new project. It's still hard for me to get over that, but it's usually worth it, because if I can get over thinking about people's expectations that they want to watch someone who's good at this game, not someone who's bad at it, well, in some cases that might be true, but on the other hand, if anyone is willing to watch me struggle, but struggle while growing and learning, if they're with me through that whole experience, going from 0 to 100, I think there is a level of gratification there that more people appreciate than my instincts would tell me that they would.
I think there's something that you're missing here that I think would be very beneficial for you and your community. I'm assuming that you've got your own Discord.
I do.
Right. This is something that might be very beneficial to you, right? So you just said that you don't know whether you should be streaming. You struggle with choosing whether you're going to be streaming your learning process to get to that speed run. How about, instead of putting it on Twitch, you do a Discord stream of your learning curve. That way, for those people that are genuinely interested, they're going to watch you and they're going to see what you play and how you play it. And that way, it's not going to affect anything else. If people turn up, people turn up. If people don't turn up, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't harm you in any way. But that way, it's going to show how many people are interested in it. And it's also going to change the way that you interact with them as well, because you can have people speaking directly to you. Or if not, you can just have a separate channel, voice chat and text chat for those offline speedrunning learning streams.
That's awesome. I've seriously that has never crossed my mind.
Boom, coming in with a tip.
I'm gonna put that out there. Gonna raise the question in my Discord, see if anyone would be interested. Why not? That's awesome, man.
Yeah, because like that way a lot of people could be like, yo, why don't you try this way? Why don't you try going through this kind of bush? Why don't you hit them with this, essentially? But yeah, might be a way forward.
Yeah, I enjoy that level of interaction sometimes on Twitch as well, but that's something that if I'm on the fence like that, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Why not? You know, I don't have to worry too much about what I put out on a Discord stream. I can just do it.
Exactly.
Think about it.
That's the beauty of
I like this. I like this a lot. Yeah.
So this is why I started this. Is the reason why I started this whole Infectious thought is because I wanted to know why that person got to where they got to, because I've made mistakes that a lot of the huge streamers that talk about how to be a better streamer, how to become famous, how to get 100 viewers. They all say the general thing that everyone knows. You know, you got to get on all the platforms, you got to put yourself out there, you got to create a brand, you got to take photos, you got blah, blah, blah. They don't talk about the cable routing and doing Discord streams and doing all that kind of stuff. They don't talk about it. It's all small stuff they had to do in the very beginning. What a lot of them fail to mention is they didn't get to where they got to in a year. They got there like in 10 years or 7 years, something ridiculous like that. They've had a long stretch road of learning curves. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. Yeah?
Good stuff. Yeah.
But where do you see yourself, your brand, your channel going towards? I don't want to know an end goal, because I think end goals for people are just, in my opinion, extremely hard to hit. Because what do you do once you hit your end goal? What, do you just quit? No. What I want to know is, what is your next big milestone? I'm not talking like 1,000 followers. I'm talking like your next big milestone.
Yeah, not numbers, but where I want to take my content.
Well, numbers as well. Depends on what you want, really.
Oh, sure. Well, you know, I'm part-time in this. I have my day job, and I have no illusions about content creation taking over as my only thing that I do. I am not moving towards that sort of place. I would like to get more on a more regular schedule, so that people can set their expectations of when they can expect to see me, rather than it being a little more on the sporadic side, which sadly is where things are right now. So that's some maintenance work that I would like to do to be able to get something into a more regular groove for people, so that people will be more comfortable, and that may be a way for growth to happen. But growth comes in many forms, and for me, it's not about the numbers. It's not really about growth in that way. It's about doing things I've always wanted to, playing games I've always wanted to.
But what's a big
fun toys,
milestone?
fun experiences.
What's a big milestone, though? Like, are we talking like you want to have on the wall behind you a Guinness World Record of a speed run that you've done in a game? Is that what we're talking? Give me some big dreams.
Okay. Big dreams. All right. So we're no longer talking about the IKEA cubby holes behind me with my game console collection. That's something I want to do in the next month. But big dreams. Yeah, I'm serious. That's what I want. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was just waiting. Oh my god.
I think Fishy Fish should be up here instead of me. She's way more entertaining.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
She is. Yes. That's the dream. Yeah, that's the family dream. Oh god, no, she gives me such life. That's awesome. Kept woman. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that if I right now could get world record in a game that people have heard of, such as Gauntlet, that would get me truly emotional. I actually have several world records in obscure. I'm talking things that, where world record means best out of the 4 people who have ever bothered to submit a time.
I mean, hey! Don't you dare try and play that down. That's the world record. Ain't nobody I know that can go, yeah, I've got a world record. No. Don't you play that down. No. Oh, that's what I want to talk about.
I'm not saying I'm not proud of them, but there are games that I have run where I am 67th place, where I feel that is a better representation of skill and that I am more proud of than something there where I am 2nd place, depending on what it took to get there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about world record. It's not about this culture of I have to be the best. It's about being better than I was before. But yeah, I'm saying I have 2 to 4 or so technically world records. Yes, in a couple of games. There's, I mean, a cookie for you if you've heard of any of these, but Shuffle Puck Cafe.
No clue.
You can't keep a straight face with that one, can you? Yeah. Dynamite Bowl, and what's the other? Well, the other one I actually did run into some people who had played it before. Spy Hunter, but it's no Legend of Zelda, is it? Yeah. Spy Hunter. But if I could get it in Gauntlet, that would be next level. I would be putting that on my gravestone. Gauntlet world record holder.
Done deal.
That'd be huge.
Done deal. That'll be.
And the scary thing is, I'm in a little bit of disbelief about it, but my skill level in that game is not perfect. But I think that with the right rolls of dice, with the right luck, I think it's possible. I think that it is actually attainable in a way that me getting world record in Super Mario Brothers or some crazy game that thousands of people run, that is not attainable for me at present. But Gauntlet, I think, is possibly attainable. It's a long shot, but it feels potentially up there. And
all right, that's
I think I would be forced to confront the fact that I'm actually good at what I do if I could get world record in Gauntlet.
Done. Okay, that is what I want to hear. World record holder for completing Gauntlet. Yeah,
that's the goal.
Good.
That milestone would mean a lot to me.
I mean,
I want it.
If I've heard a better like clickbait title for the YouTube video, that is it right there. Oh god. But okay, all right. And obviously being a speedrunner, you can't always be working with a load of people. I'm sure there's games out there that require two people for those kind of records or
Oh yeah.
those kind of playthroughs. But who is someone that you've always wanted to do a collaboration with?
Ooh. Yeah, it's funny. I've done so many solo streams. 99.9% of what I do is solo. That has been my level of comfort. I've done a couple of co-op streams with my wife and my brother-in-law. I have really kept it all in the family, but I mean, the people out there who I watch who play multiplayer games, who keep things so talented and engaging. I mean, bringing up 50% Gaming again, who is one of the few people who has switched to games that I don't inherently have interest in, but who, as I said, they make me invested because they're invested. You know, I would love to play like Dead by Daylight with him, or play Rocket League with him, or with MG Homie, another really good example of a streamer who is such an engaging, energetic host who plays these multiplayer games. I think that my game would be either Sea of Thieves or Dead by Daylight for a multiplayer game that I would just relish in playing with someone like that. I know Dead by Daylight is a pretty popular game on Twitch, and I am rusty, but I've been good. I've had my moments, and I'd love to get back in the groove and show my stuff.
Done. What I want done from you, okay? By
Yeah.
the end of this stream, I want those 2 messages sent to those 2 people.
Bet. All right.
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to hear. Because if you don't ask, you don't know. That's the same reason why you're here. That's the same reason why you're here. If you don't ask, you're never going to get anything. So even if you get shot down, you've asked, you found out. Nobody can knock you for that. 100%.
You're damn right. I like that. This is, I'm having a moment here. This is, yeah.
Good. I like that.
Yeah.
But going on to some of the darker things that come with streaming and content creation, which not everyone knows about because they wouldn't know about until they'd done it. And one of those things for myself was blue light. Now, I've got 3 screens staring at me right now, and I've got 2 big old lights. And there's a lot of lights pointing at me. Beforehand, I didn't have these types of lights, and they were very blue. And it hurt to the point of where I'd finish a stream and I'd go to bed and my eyes would be hot. Okay? Like, almost like I'm sticking my head into a microwave kind of a dealio. But that's something that I've changed and I've worked with in a way that it benefits me, and I've worked my way around it. And that's some of the more negative side of streaming and content creation that a lot of people wouldn't know. But what is some of the negative things that have influenced you from streaming that a lot of people wouldn't know about?
I think that something that I have struggled with from time to time, and this doesn't really apply to my recent speedrunning days, this applies more to my early days, where I was so influenced by YouTubers who were doing let's plays of games with such engaging, story-driven gameplay, with player choice being such a massive component in how the game proceeds. You know, if you or anyone is not familiar with Undertale, you know, maybe another example that people have played might be like a Mass Effect, or a Life is Strange, any single player game with forks of choices that you can make, that are the game is designed for you to feel things out for yourself, make these choices, and live with the consequences.
Game changing
influenced so
player
much.
options, basically. Yeah.
Games with multiple endings, games where if you do something wrong, then 2 scenes later some character might die, and you're going to be very upset about it, and you will be at a disadvantage from then on out, and you might also be sad. I think that I was influenced by YouTubers who would play these types of games and experience emotional consequences to some of these actions. And for some reason, I decided to do that, but on Twitch. And so what I ran into is something that I think a lot of streamers can identify as a common aspect of live streaming and chat interaction, which is kind of the battle of backseating. You get this strange dynamic where in some cases the streamer might have expectations that nobody better give any tips at all or say anything which could possibly be a hint that there is a correct course of action, and no one should be driving me towards that. I want you to experience me figuring things out for myself, solving the puzzles, failing if necessary. It's fine. I don't mind failing. And on the flip side, viewers who just want to see the best possible outcome for the most entertainment value. They don't want to see somebody struggle for 8 hours on one boss fight, for instance, because they didn't realize that they could heal in the middle of combat.
Okay.
I've done that. So there's a balance somewhere, but this is something that in my early days I was very sensitive to backseat gaming. I guess I mistakenly thought that people just wouldn't do it because I didn't want them to.
You
even
thought
if
people
I
would
didn't
follow rules, right? Didn't you? Yeah.
I thought people would read my mind to follow the imaginary rules that I never told them. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
So it was I had that much of a disconnect with reality that I thought people would just let me play the game. Now, things get a little more controversial when somebody does have rules set in place and has them plastered on their overlay, no hints, no tips of any kind, and people read it and knowingly don't follow those rules. But I think that respect goes both ways, and I don't want to put out content where I spend 8 hours on one boss fight when I'm just being dumb. But to a degree, I do want people to let me fail a little bit at first. But I think that there's a balance. Getting me to pull away from this idea of nobody better make any comments on my gameplay at all. Don't say anything. Don't ask questions that might lead me to solving a puzzle that I need to solve in a silo, not reading chat. Like, that was legitimately my attitude at first, and I don't necessarily think that is the way. I think that there's a balance. I think I need to set expectations of, like, okay, let me try this boss fight 3 times, and then I will open the floor up to suggestions. But on the other hand, don't let me open the door to a new room and give me the solution to the puzzle before my eyes have adjusted to even see what's in the room. Like, please don't do that, ever, please. But I think that I need to post those rules prominently and maybe get moderators involved in, I hate to ask people to enforce rules by timing people out or, God forbid, banning. I actually, for over a year, maybe 2 years, I don't remember how long it was before I had a bot or a mod of any kind. I think to this day, I still don't have chat rules.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I believe. My attitude has always kind of been, rule number one is don't make me add a rule number two. Just please be cool. Like
that's a good rule. I like that. Okay.
And so, yeah, I forget what the precise question was that got me off on this discussion, but
Negative side of streaming.
Yeah, I think that this well, there's kind of two things there then that might in a way answer the question. One is people who don't always respect the expectations and rules that I want to set, and who wants to move things in a way against, like, knowingly against my wishes. And I understand that not everybody actually reads it and might need to be told explicitly, hey, it's cool that you want to help, but please, in this case, I want to, be let on my own for at least another couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's uncomfortable for me to even have that conversation, but it has to be done at some point if the expectations on the other side are not the same.
Yeah.
And I certainly hate the idea of banning anybody. I think to this day, knock on wood, I think I have only banned actual spam bots. I might have removed messages, but even then, it's like I did it once, and then I almost felt guilty about it, and I don't really do that anymore. Thankfully, I haven't been hit with too many bad actors, but
yeah, I was gonna say I'm not the opposite side of it. I will happily ban people if they decide to break the rules. I mean, they're there for a reason. If they get broken, there's consequences. I normally go for a 1, 2, 3 strike and you're out, basically. It's a severity of which it matters, because if there's just a blatant someone coming into chat and just immediately being like, for example, racist, permaban, hammer is gonna slam down. But if someone's coming in and be like, who's this hairy midget? I'm like, it's me. Like, I'll be going with it. There's a bit of a.
I will chime in and agree with you 100% there. That thankfully, my community has not attracted people who want to be blatantly intolerant and cruel to people. I have not had a problem with slurs. I like to think that as much as I am a meek kitty cat who doesn't like confrontation, I would ban someone who in a heartbeat without thinking twice if they came in just with hatred, and ignorant words.
100%.
Thankfully, I haven't run into that much, if at all.
Oh, thank God for that.
But it's certainly an uncomfortable part of Twitch. Of it almost takes you out of it, doesn't it? That I like to think I'm just having fun in my room, and other people virtually are in here with me. But it's not all fun and games when it gets to moderating your chat.
Oh, 100%.
I hate that that's part of the job, and I am so lucky that it hasn't been a big part of my job.
Well, fingers crossed it keeps that way.
Yep.
But this is one that I suffer from severely. Now, there's two sides of this, right? So the question itself is like, have you ever reached or have you ever got to a blank moment in your content creation? Because there's two sides of it. From what I've seen and what I've heard, there is I have infinite amount of options. I don't know. So I've got 10 options, but I don't know which one to play, so I'm just gonna not do it. Or I don't know what to play. I don't know what to go to next. So have you hit one of those creator blocks? And if you have, what did you do to get over it?
I've hit two kinds of blocks, and I have to laugh because your first option there is precisely what has happened to me so many times, and is kind of touches on why I created my Twitch channel in the first place, which was that there are so many games throughout history, be they retro games, modern AAA games, or cult classics. But I felt as though 9 out of 10 games which could be named as someone's favorite game of all time, I felt like that was about the odds that I had never played it, because I have had this awful habit throughout my life of, ooh, here's a Steam sale, here's a humble bundle.
They're dangerous.
I can't afford not to buy this pack of 50 games for $4. I to this day still have such a backlog of these classics, and I've corrected some of these injustices. I've played Super Metroid on stream finally. I've played Link to the Past on stream finally. I'm getting these requisite classics out of the way. These I can't believe you've never played blank. I've now played some more of those, but my backlog has got to be in the hundreds.
Oh my god. Wow.
It has. I have so much going on Steam, and I have the world of retro gaming available to me as well. And sometimes I really don't know what to play. I become paralyzed with options, and I am consciously aware of this. So to hear you say it that way and ask if I've ever experienced anything like it, like, yes, that's my life.
Do you know what?
I'll tell you that.
Hey, go on.
Oh, please go ahead.
No, go
on. The sad truth is that in some cases, this infinite choice paralysis has led to, well, I might go 2 weeks without streaming.
But yeah, do you know what? Yeah, it's true. That's literally what others have done. They've literally, just like I said, they have so many options. They don't know which one to do, so they're not going to do any of them.
Yeah.
Simple as. The best advice I can give you, pick random 10. Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, on Discord, you can have like different emotes. Post a reaction to each one of those 10 games. Post it weekly. The one that's got the most is the one you're playing. Problem solved. The one
I did that once on Twitter.
Yeah, the one constant that I've heard throughout this whole problems and issues on Twitch with creators block, the one constant has always been chat and community, because they're the ones that know what they want to see. And they're the ones that think, oh, that'll be funny, or, oh, that's going to be hard. I want to see him in pain. Like, for a fact, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
That's what the people like. They like to see me in pain. I love that. Yeah.
Pain, humiliation. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but I had to wear this bad boy of a maid outfit.
Oh yeah.
On stream. So yeah, like I said, pain, humiliation. That's what chat wants, apparently.
You know what's handy for me, because I was just made to wear it.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
Hello, Tov.
Oh my god. I may have expressly modified a game and made it just to mess with Boko. I mean...
That's true. Hey, K Kairos, what's going on, KK?
That's what we like to see. Okay, that's what we like, because that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it fun. One of them hats with the strings that makes the hands clap.
Ooh, I like that. Part of me is like, don't give my community ideas, but part of me is like, no, I want that. I actually want that one. That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Huh. It's giving me ideas now. Now I'm thinking about adding some of these, like wearables that I can possibly.
Oh yeah.
Like if the community really does want it to happen, I'll just add the most outrageous things to a wish list. And if they so choose that they want to see me wear it, they're more than welcome to provide it, and I'll wear it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
I've got I mean, that horse head takes the cake for me, but I've got a wizard hat. I've got, what else is embarrassing? Well, here's the thing. I don't really get embarrassed. I'll just, someone wants me to put it on, I'll put it on. Like I'll wear that. I'll wear the horse head with the wizard hat on it.
Oh, really?
Someone wants a horse wizard. Why not? Sure. I mean, I never have, but now I probably will. I've got luchador masks. I could be a luchador in sunglasses wearing a fedora. That could be my new look. Why not? I'll do it. I'll do anything.
I've just sent you a link to something. I'd like to see you do that.
I haven't opened it yet, but sure, I will.
Now, this is to the extent of what my
chat...
here
we go. Okay.
This is to the extent of what my chat would make me do. And needless to say, I'm the type of person that if I have to dress like a character, I will go the full 9 yards. Do you know what? In fact, I
appreciate that.
I'm actually going to do this properly. Let me add another display capture. I'm not afraid. I'm gonna do it. If
curtsy.
It has to happen. Okay.
I'm sorry. Have I given away what it is? Oh, there it is.
All right. Good. You're all good. Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the extent of what my chat will make me do.
Challenge accepted. God. I think.
See,
I love that. You just own it. You get fully immersed in that character. Just
fully. And like, this is a character called Rem from RE0, and I even went to the point of where I was wearing the thigh highs with the garters.
I love it. You better work.
So, yeah. I'm not afraid, okay? I will go there and I'll do it properly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And no,
I love full costume.
Oh god.
Oh man. I Halloween is one of my favorite times of year. And I've done I don't suppose I've done anything like that, but I would.
There we go. I would. It sounds like we've just got ourselves a new sub goal.
I will do that in a heartbeat for us. I'll set a sub goal. Someone can make me an offer. I'll come up with something. But yes, if that's what people want to see.
Oh, I can guarantee
who am I to deprive them?
I can guarantee it. Right, that's what I want. 100 subs, goal, and then you wear a full costume of their choosing.
If you think I won't, if you think for 1 second that I won't, you're out of your mind.
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
Hey, okay.
Oh my god.
All right.
Right, we're getting to the last three. Let's go for the last 2 questions, right?
Sweet.
So,
lay it on me.
I'll ask you one now, but that's actually going to be the very last one, okay? So I'll give you time to think about it. So my last question for you is going to be, who is someone that you follow, watch, or have played with that you think is massively underrated, and why are they underrated? And also, someone along those same lines who you'd like to see on this Infectious Thoughts. But before you answer that question, what I'd like to know about is, what is your go-to when you go streaming and you haven't got anything to do?
That's a difficult question to ask of a, habitual variety streamer.
There's got to be the one thing that you can always be like, I've always got that to go back on because I enjoy it.
Yeah. It's a bit of a boring answer nowadays that if I don't know which new game I want to start learning, I can always fall back on the last game that I've been grinding because I know that I'm good at it. So in this case, it's Gauntlet, but that will change from time to time. Mm-hmm. That's not a very interesting answer. If I'm going to think back to my more casual variety days, Wow, it is actually very difficult. I always had more of this concept of projects. I would start a new game and play that to completion before I picked up a new project. Doesn't always work out that way, but if I had trouble picking something new, what would I normally do? Well, in the early days, it was Hearthstone, but I don't think I was ever providing very good content in regard to that game. Nowadays, I'm trying very hard to respect the question here, and I think that I have to tell you, there's no restaurant or coffee shop in the world that I have gone to and been able to say I'll have the usual, because I would rather try everything on their menu first.
Okay.
And that is kind of my approach to gaming. So many of the games that I used to play were single player story games where I almost wouldn't see the point in starting over with them. I would finish the game and then it would be done and I would need something new. I couldn't go back to it. So the sorts of games that have lasting appeal for me in terms of being able to broadcast them, there are repetitive games, multiplayer games like Hearthstone, Dead by Daylight. I don't really stream those. That's not my MO. So what I do have is speedrunning. I could be willing to go back to something that I've played in the past and just throw new attempts at it, but I am much happier to, I'll give you a real world example. I get burnt out in the middle of a stream on some game, or I get a new personal best time and I'm like, well, I thought that would take all stream, but it only took me 45 minutes. I don't really have anything else planned. So at that point, my ideal circumstance is that I get a suggestion from the chat of something that I've never played before, and I will light up and say, yes, I will play that. And what happened last stream yesterday was I got burnt out playing Gauntlet. I lost my mojo, and Fishy Fish nailed it. She was like, well, I want to know when you're going to play A Bug's Life for Game Boy Color. And I said, right now. I had never played it before, and that's what I want. I embrace variety as the spice of life to a fault, and I like to play my game, finish it, and move on to something new. If I'm not doing something new every couple of weeks, I get antsy. I am having so much trouble answering the question of what is my fallback, because I have fallback games that I play offline, and Hearthstone answers that question, but I don't stream it because I don't anticipate that my audience will enjoy that, because I want to always be giving them something new.
So your fallback is something new.
Yes. And if that comes from a viewer suggestion, that's ideal. And they usually will provide. And if not, if it came to it, maybe I could take your idea and throw a dart at a map at a visualization of all the games in my Steam backlog. I would do that. I would say, okay, I'm going to download game 86 on my Steam backlog, and we're doing that. I haven't done that specific thing, but if no one had any ideas for me, maybe that's something I could do. I feel so uncomfortable with the idea of like, well, I guess I'll play this. I want to be playing something new and exciting. Okay. I have to be that way. It's in my blood.
I respect that. Okay. All right. So, the final question. Who is someone that you've watched, collaborated with, or just heard of that you think is massively underrated, that you think is just, you don't know why they're not like much bigger than they are? And who would you like to see on one of these episodes of Infectious Thoughts?
So, You and I just had this conversation about, don't you dare, try to downplay the value of a world record, even in a silly game, even in a bad game, even in a glitchy game, even in a game that no one's ever heard of and that no one's ever played but you and maybe one other person. If that is the prevailing attitude about how we should feel about world records, then I invite you to look at the resume of a streamer called She's Shardcore.
You're gonna have to send me the links for all these, and then
absolutely.
So we'll deal with that off stream. You just send me the ones that you
sure.
think could be a good idea.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I'm talking about someone who has been such an amazing influence on my development as a speedrunner and streamer, and who herself has, I believe, I don't want to exaggerate, so I will say that I know for sure that her world record count is above, I believe, 1,400.
How? What? What?
Exactly.
What?
Char is such an amazingly skilled a runner of retro games. Her repertoire consists of NES games, which is where I've been focusing, and lately a lot of mobile games. So there is a logical explanation as to the sheer volume of records and runs that she has, and a lot of that can start to be explained by looking at games that perhaps track separate leaderboards for each level of the game, or have many different categories or sets of options. So they say, here's the world record in beating this game with no restrictions whatsoever, but then here is the world record for beating this game with only your starting equipment that your character gets, so you will never get any more equipment. Then here's the world record for beating this game, I don't know, with on hard difficulty. There are many different permutations for playing some games, some more than others. So it's possible to find games that, one of your big ticket items, if you're looking for sheer volume of records that you can get, would be a game with 50 very short levels. Like, imagine, now I don't know for sure if Char has any records in Angry Birds, but picture, everyone knows Angry Birds. How long does it take you to beat one level of Angry Birds? Well, think of a very short, easy one. It's a matter of, it's not minutes, it's seconds, right?
Yeah, you could have a record for the level, the difficulty, the game, the chapter.
Sure.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But I don't want you to get the impression that is all that this person does. Char is an amazingly skilled retro runner who has incredible times in legitimate NES games, and one of the main things that got me into speedrunning was watching her do a live routing, doing science, as I call it, figuring out live on stream, like, okay, she's beaten this game, but can she do it faster? She was playing this game called I believe Desert Commander for the NES. It's a turn-based strategy game for the NES. Quite cool, actually. Very fun. But she was finding these insane manipulations to gradually play the game less and less the way the developers intended it to be played, until she would whittle it down to, oh, I can beat the first level of this game with one helicopter or whatever. And so what you end up with is this ridiculous scenario of she starts the game and she has resources that she can spend on units, on soldiers. You can have infantry or tanks or airplanes. And she's like, okay, I'm going to get one aerial unit against this entire enemy army. She's like, but if I go here and down here, I can just rush. And then the random luck has been manipulated by my precise movements. And then they will all come at me and fail to kill me, and then I'll... She does these things that look so improbable, but she finds ways to manipulate the rudimentary random number generation in games to look like she's doing the impossible, and like only a robot could do this. But she figures it out. She has such a talent for finding these things out and then performing them, often with frame perfect precision, meaning the game only accepts input every 1/60th of a second, and she is able to get that correct 1/60th of a second input better than almost anyone that I know.
Okay.
So it is not just that she finds the Angry Birds games to do this to, but she has a variety of incredibly impressive runs. She's been so influential on me. She's been running these contests that have almost tricked me into being a speedrunner, into developing my skills. And I literally do not understand how she is not like one of the most popular speedrunners that there is. She has taught me that a game doesn't have to be Super Mario Brothers or The Legend of Zelda to be a good speed game. That you can, there is so much value in running some of these ridiculous games. You will get invested in it, I promise you, in watching this ridiculous glitchy jank. So there is a lot to learn from her. I've learned from her. She's a fascinating person and great streamer, and should have the exposure.
Okay. All right. Okay. Just that's it? Just the one?
Well, if you're looking for another underrated streamer who I think would be a great fit for a program such as this, I have to pitch my friend Sacrifice TV. I think this is another great example of someone who is just visiting his channel is like hanging out with your best friend. And I mean your best friend. He is so chill and content and just has this soothing, like, he's laid back, but has this smirk and great comedic attitude.
Okay.
He's just such a nice guy, and you can't go there and not like love hang. I go there and I'm instantly like, oh, this guy is my friend. I can't really explain it other than that. He's just so warm, and I think that he absolutely would be such a fit for, I want to interview him now that I'm thinking of it. Like he's just a cool guy,
Okay.
He's humble and unassuming, and he leads an interesting life, and he's just wonderful. He's a sweet guy. I enjoy my time there.
It sounds like you're getting a little bit of a man crush here. You got a lot of phrases to sing for this guy.
Zach knows. Zach knows. I am unashamed about that. God. Oh yeah, it's that's we've become fast friends, and if it's not obvious, and there are several people who I have developed this camaraderie with. I mean, I recently someone who I've met through speedrunning, Avidrock, who is a mutual friend of mine, and she's Shardcore. Avidrock, just like he's just another just like freaking cool dude who I have bonded with over these speedrunning marathons, these contests that we've both been a part of. We both drive each other to do better. So the premise of one of these contests will be somebody comes up with a list of 20 games and a goal for each game, and you must do all of these 20 tasks, play these 20 games as fast as possible, and then we'll track our times in a chart, and I'll post mine, and Avidrock will post his, and the next guy will post his, the next girl will post hers, and we compete to see who's got the best overall time. And I think that one of the best things that has happened to me is this friendly rivalry with Avidrock over the past month, over this most recent contest. He pushed me to the limit, and we just developed this mutual respect because this was a list of 20 games, and we were like 10 and 10 for which of us was in the lead.
Oh, wow.
And it would waver one way or the other, and we were just together dominating this list. And like, oh, I can't believe you're going back and making me play that. But this is the best thing about the speedrunning community. The cooperation of it all. Mm-hmm. The fact that if I discover something about this game that helps me play it faster, if I find this new trick or tip, I don't keep it secret. That's not how we do things. I get excited about it and I want to tell everybody. And if I came up with this trick and somebody else takes world record with my trick, I could not possibly be more satisfied if I got world record myself, because I'm a part of the history of that game. And you ask almost any speedrunner and they will tell you the same thing.
That's why I like the fact that, like, how close-knit and how the whole speedrunning community works with each other, because that is very much apparent throughout every game out there. Like, I play a lot of Minecraft, and there's a speedrunning community for Minecraft, and they do exactly the same thing. They share all sorts of different tips and tricks of trying to get better and better and better. Fair point, there's the obvious randomization of things and luck-based items, but yeah, no, that's one thing I do love about the speedrunning community, is the fact that everyone's just trying to get everyone up, not just the one person by itself.
The amount that can build relationships within that community, it is powerful, man. It's cool. So that's what I have with some of my friends here.
Okay. All right. Well, I've been asking you a whole load of questions, and it is only fair that at the end I'll allow you to ask me, within reason, a few questions of your own. So,
okay.
No holds barred, within reason, what would you like to know?
Okay.
And whilst you think about that, what we're going to do is that we're going to also that re-chat, because that ain't happening. But whilst we're doing this, think about who you would like to raid, because at the end, I'm going to end the video, and then, well, it's going to look like I'm ending a video, but I'm just going to end the stream, stop the recording, and then go over to your raid, wherever you'd like to be.
That's awesome. That's great. I'm loving chat right now. Ask him. So Tom, same questions. Go.
Same questions.
No,
I'll speed run the questions.
I'm not doing that. I would love that. I would love to see a speed run of answering each questions in this. And yeah, that's. See, I would do. You're giving me ideas. I would do that. Speedrun interview. That's awesome.
Oh God.
No, I think I honestly one of the things that I loved the most about this evening, unironically, was that video of you in that dress. I mean, is that the farthest you've gone with costuming, or is there something even crazier that you're proud of, or embarrassed of for that matter? But I think you should be proud.
Okay, right. Are we talking on Twitch or are we talking in real life?
Oh, well, now it's real life. Now it's all yes.
You want everything.
I want the most insane, just like out there costume. Gotcha. Yeah.
Well, it's not really a costume. It's just more something else. But me and my friends went camping, and one of my friends called Dan, he brought his new girlfriend, fresh, like literally, I'd never met her, right? This was the first time I was meeting her, and she seemed to have a moderately good sense of humor. So anyway, the two of them decided to get out of the tent in the morning, and they all went to the toilet, which was about a 5-minute walk away. Anyway, I was already up. I was talking to my friends outside, having a drink of something.
Yeah.
And I noticed they left their tent open, and I noticed that one of her bags was open. So I've got one of her 2-piece bikinis and put it on. And needless to say, women's 2-piece bikinis were not meant to hold men's appendages. And it was a struggle to obviously dress accordingly. However, there was a photo shoot done, obviously. And yeah, luckily she had a very good sense of humor, because when she got back, she was like, okay, that looks good, but you need to try this on. And then, yeah, anyway. So that's about as far as I've gone.
The answer is, I've heard, is duct tape.
Oh my god.
I'll give you this one for free. I in college, these stories always are in college. For Halloween, I was Zangief from Street Fighter. I had shaved my head into a mohawk, and I wore no shirt, no pants, simply a effectively pair of small red underwear that was perhaps a size too small, and some fake chest hair. If you don't know Zangief from Street Fighter, he's a character. And I walked right down the main highway from my apartment to campus.
Oh my
like
god, that's brilliant.
So yeah, I feel a kindred spirit in you with that story, because I was wearing probably a similar amount of clothing there.
Oh my god, brilliant.
That's awesome.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh my god, I mean, when can I see you again?
I mean,
this has been so much fun. I know you play a lot of Minecraft. I've been in your streams. I've been I think I have a sense for what you do and what your content is, and I definitely want more. I mean, I appreciate that you've done this. I'm curious about if you have a dream interview, of anyone, of any, not even just a content creator, just who do you think you would like to give this series of questions to?
Okay. Oh. It's hard because, similar to you, it's hard to choose a specific game or person in this case.
Sure.
There's
imagine again. Let's throw in. Imagine that they were magically compelled to answer truthfully as well. Who, if you were guaranteed to get truthful answers to all of these questions, would that make it any more interesting? Would that?
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Dr. Disrespect.
Oh, yes.
I think that would be priceless.
I think you would just about blow up the internet.
Just about, but yeah, I think if he had the answer like truthfully to every single question, I think that would be entertaining to see both sides of the coin, because obviously Dr. Disrespect is a character. So
yes,
seeing the difference between the two would be very interesting.
That is a very good answer. I think you could potentially win some kind of journalism award for that one.
I mean, it's probably never going to happen, but I don't know. I'll send some emails. We'll see.
Well, it's
we'll
a
see.
dream, right? Yeah. So what you're gonna do is send a message at the end of this stream. Yeah.
Done. 100%.
Yes. I appreciate that sort of thing. You know, I'm kind of like flipping that on you in a sort of joking way, but I love the advice that you've come up with here for me. You know, this has definitely given me a lot of energy, a lot to think about, put a lot of what I do in perspective. I think I don't put enough thought or energy into what I can do better, and I think that there's a lot to be excited about here. So thank you.
Yep.
So it's also a lot of fun. I mean, just you're super cool guy. I mean, I've enjoyed this conversation. It feels like we just started. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a conversation. It's not really an interview. Like that's what I'm trying to. That's one thing that I always try and like push, sort of like unknowingly to people, is trying to get them more like just relax. We're just talking about bikinis and games and embarrassing things and chat and just relaxing. Just like you're talking your bud. That's what I like to see, because it gets people relaxed. And it just comes across you to have a lot more fun, sort of thing. So I'm glad.
I think this is a good endeavor. It's, you know, interviewing content creators. I think that for the most part, I don't suspect it's like pulling teeth. We're all people who, in one form or another, are comfortable being in front of a camera. So I think it just makes sense. I don't know if people have, on the whole, been excited about this or willing, but I mean, the opportunity presented itself for me, and I said, hell yeah. I mean, it sounded fun. I'm just so down. So
good. And I love the fact that you've enjoyed yourself, and I love the fact that you can actually walk away from this with some hints and tips that you can use in your own stream and your own content creation career. And I'm hoping that maybe one day it can turn into a career for you. That would be.
I appreciate that.
That would be ideal. It would probably like mean that you'd have to get an actual decent, comfortable chair, not this, which is what chat has been talking about. Because Jonesy Original, who was in chat earlier, he actually gave me this chair because he was getting himself a new one, and I know him in real life anyway. And well, it has this function of being able to lean it all the way back and just lay on it, essentially. Well,
I think we have to see now.
I'm not going to do it, but there is a clip of it happening, and I will play it for you. Don't you worry about that.
I tried, chat.
So here is the clip of me leaning back on my chair. Wait for it.
I don't trust you.
Ah, you didn't hear it. It says, "I don't trust you," followed by the stare. I even like
Excuse me.
The ear cuff come off of my headset. I thought I broke him. Like, it was a bad time. I'm not gonna lean back on it anymore. It's a death trap, okay?
I don't blame you, but I mean, dare I say, sub reward?
Definitely. What? A sub reward of me leaning back on my chair.
It sounds like that's what the people want.
I mean, it is, but I can't, like.
Okay, loyalty points redemption. 10,000, whatever you have, you know, Tav shekels. I don't know what is it?
They're just eight coins.
Okay.
Yeah, just channel points. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
No, it's not.
It sounds like they think it's a great idea.
It's not. Maybe we'll see. We'll see in the future. There's going to be a bit of a change around of some of the channel point redemptions for people. So we'll see. Because at the moment, there's a few. I can see them in chat, literally getting ready to destroy me. Because there's people that have got several thousands, tens of thousands of points. So
So you're afraid of it piling on. You might have to do it 6 or 7 times in one night.
it's quite literally that. Yeah, quite literally.
I think you have the potential to go viral with content like that.
I have potential of getting spinal injuries. Okay, this thing's
you can pay for it with all
dangerous.
those new subs.
Well, we'll see. Oh God.
If you don't mind, I think I do have one more question for you.
Let's go.
Would you mind telling us about your beard care routine?
My beard care routine is probably the most uninteresting thing. However,
I am very interested.
what I will say is it's different when I actually go out. If I go out, then I actually do use different things.
Like a beard oil?
Yeah, so I normally shower, and I've got beard shampoo and beard conditioner, and then
Nice.
I dry it with a hairdryer. I dry it from the bottom up and then from the top down whilst I'm brushing it to get it straightened. And then, if need be, I've got a beard straightener. Yeah, that's right. That's the thing. Then,
I have one. I was gonna say my wife got me one.
yeah, it's useful. And then
I used to have more.
yeah, you said earlier you used to go like just to, like to there sort of thing, but after that, after I dry it and let it cool down, then oil directly on and underneath, brush it all in, and then let that sit in for a little bit, and then brush it again, and then you shape it, and then that's it.
It works for you, man.
It takes a long time, so
yeah. I mean, it's immaculate. I love that thing.
It ain't that like it's only to there. It's not even like it's not all.
I know, but it's good. It's neat.
It's getting there.
I don't know if we would say, it looks well maintained. It looks.
I'll take it.
Fantastic.
I'll take it.
Mine has when mine gets big, it has gotten out of control. I have this curliness that can get into it. So I'm actually not surprised at the beard straightener comment. My wife got me this like pink hair straightener. That's it's awesome.
Oh God.
When I need it, it's a boon.
100%. Like with mine, because it's so long, I managed to get myself. It's actually meant to be a hair straightener brush.
Right. Oh yeah.
So that with the brush, I brush it, and then it kind of works that way. Better in a way.
I'm familiar. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I appreciate that. I'm filing that away for next time I decide to take another important thing in my life to the next level.
Oh God. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on here and satisfying my curiosity.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you've managed to walk away with this with something that is great, that you're going to be able to use in your own channel. So I'm really happy about that.
I think that there is a lot here for me to compile and file away. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. I appreciate this chat. Thank you for the shout outs, for the questions, for the, everyone's been amazing. This has just been such an invigorating experience all around. Y'all are a great community, and I'll be back, there in chat.
Good.
It's been great getting to know you.
Good.
Yeah.
It's been great getting to know you too. And I want to see that next big world record. That's what I want to see. All right.
I'll let you know, man, when I get that. When I do.
But whilst I do the outro, if you don't mind finding someone to raid. But
oh yeah.
For everyone that's been here, thank you very much for every second that you've been in here. I really do appreciate you all. If you're watching this on Twitch, thank you for being here. If you're watching this on YouTube, however, this is where this is going to be going. Thank you for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. If you would like the links of this wonderful gentleman, they are going to be down below in the description. The links to everything that he's got. If you want to see me, I stream Mondays. No, I don't. I've changed my schedule. It's now Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Times vary. Normally during the week, it's about 9:30 p.m. GMT. But if you want to know the deets, join a Discord channel. That's also going to be down below in the descriptions. But here has been Bokonon Lives. My name is the 8th one. This is Infectious Thoughts number 25. Thank you very much for coming here, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, everyone.